Yo, I come from a crack in the ground, a hole in the wall. And dog, when the crack ain't around, the smoke is a raw. The streets like a bullet in cancer. It'll swallow you up, or eat you from the inside and hollow you up. And every day like a test. You know, life got rules, and it's sorta like checkers and chess. I went to school and took the lessons, punk. No pawn get king, a bishop get juice, a rook get jump. Faggot niggas took the easy route. They either coked out, smoked out, doped out. Niggas took the needle route. And I ain't trying to take either route. I'm trying to stop getting weeded out. Really trying to wean it out. Know the flip side when choosing your way. Like getting fat from losing a weight. Or losing that from using a weight. Feel like I'm speeding and I'm about to crash. Nowhere to go and I'm getting there fast. Caught up in the system where the blind lead the blind. And this artist only speaks on the signs of the time. And I pop pills in purple rain to escape my pain. They say I'm just like my father, bold and too cold. But you know that's how a thug ride. I send a kite through a dove in the jail where the thugs cry. I feel your pain when you restrained and your love die. And make your heart hard, the blood in your vein fry. Feel like I'm trapped and I'm blindfolded. But my eyes wide open to see. Feel like the OJs climbing them stairways. Hoping heaven's gates wide open for me. Look towards a line seeking direction. Still I spin in every direction, seeking direction. Trying to balance out the good with the imperfections. Yeah, I know I still move with nowhere to go.
Like we grind from the bottom just to make it to the bottom. See faces of the people that I shot when I get high. Late night flow through the bottom. My aunt house, one of the places that I stopped. See, she just died. She got cancer from smoking and drinking the same shit that I'm drinking and smoking. I can't lie. Wish life would just open its handcuffs and let me go. Feel like I'm doing a bit. I can't slide. So what? I'm a rapper. I can't escape the wrath of the law. If I crash up my whip or get blasted in the jaw, prick master this fifth, or I might go triple platinum, become a household name. After a long day of out of town work, make my way to the plane fast in the trip. Here, Mayday, controls out of work. How on earth can life end like this? Nowhere to go.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Wyatt Live 1 p.m. conversation. Who's with me today? Who here? I know. You probably didn't think I was coming today. I'll be honest with you. I almost didn't make it. Thank you, David Herring. Appreciate it, brother. I almost didn't make it. I was on the phone for probably 15 minutes of the intro because I got things going on that I really need to get handled. It's the end of the year. This is the time of the year where I'm really busy. I got a lot going on. And Mama Birch, what's good? I just copied a picture. Someone just put a picture out of Taft High School back in the day. And your son, Jimmy, is in that picture. I just copied it. It's a sports group that I'm in. It's like a chat group of sports, and they just posted. This had to be like, I don't know, in the 80s, early 80s. And it's a team photo of Taft High School. And my man Jimmy Birch is in that picture. There's probably some more people that I recognize in there. Let me see if I can pull that up real fast. Let me see. It's in black and white, but it's not even in black and white, y'all. It's in like a yellow color. That's how old it is. So let me see if I can transfer it over real fast and see if I can recognize some brothers that I know, some big bros. Yeah, this looked like Mario and them. 5709. Let me just see. This was not part of what I was gonna talk about. Matter of fact, let me see who I see on here. Boy, this was not a big team. I can tell you that. Taft has not changed. Oh, there's Monty Rock. There go Montez Johnson. There go my guy Jimmy. I don't see anybody else. I don't recognize anyone else on here. I'm gonna pull it up. Here it is, Mama Birch. There it is right there. I don't know what year this is, but it was the year Jimmy Birch wore 62, Mama Birch. So whatever year that is, yes, it's football. Mario Williams, Donnie Nah. I think, what was Mario's last? Fat Mario. But right behind Jimmy Birch is Montez Johnson, Kennard Johnson's little brother, which was kind of like our big bro because of my age group. But yeah, 62 is Mama Birch's son. There go Jimmy. I'm going to save this and I'm going to send it to you, Mama Birch. I'm going to send this over to you. I'm going to send it to you in the messenger and you can have it. Okay? You'll be able to see your baby. I don't know what year that is. I don't know anything about it. Yeah, there it is. Let's see if we back. I don't know what just happened, but I just fell out the screen. Let me see if I can pull myself back in here. There it is. All right. Hold on one second, guys. This is what happens when you're off a few days. You forget how everything works. Buttons look the same, but you unfamiliarize yourself with what's going on. And Mama Birch says, "Oh, you have that picture already?" All right. Well, I'll keep it for myself then. One of our old throwbacks from Taft High School from back in the day. Then what year is that? Donna said, "Can you post it on your page, Wyatt? I can't see it, please." Yes, I'll put it up. I'll put it in the Wyatt Live Messenger group. I'll put it up in there, and all my old homies and homettes, y'all all get a chance. Hey, yeah, she said, "I see Jimmy right behind Jimmy is Montez Johnson. Monty Rock is what we used to call him. Yeah, those are all like our big dudes, our big bros growing up. Some of them faces I'm gonna have to examine. I'm gonna have to look at them and see if I notice some of those guys. I didn't really get a chance to really look at it real good. Stephen Speed said, "What field was that?" I'm not quite sure. It looks like the old football field. Let me see. Donnie said, "I think it was 84, 85. It could be. I don't know. Let me see. That looked like the old football stadium. But it actually, to be honest with y'all, you know what that looked like to me? And I don't know why they would do this. It looked, the school or the building behind them looks like a school. It's either Bloom, it's either Bloom down the way, or believe it or not, it looks like the old Withrow field. And I don't know why they would do Withrow. Maybe they took a school picture. I mean, a team picture while they were on the road one day. I don't know. But that picture right there, looking at the building, that don't look like Taft High School. And I'm looking at the goalpost. Taft never had, Mama Birch, correct me if I'm wrong. Taft never really had cement steps like that. You know what I'm saying? That don't look like Taft's old field. We always had like, and I say we, but because we used to play over at, we'd go right across the street and play at Taft High School. I don't remember cement steps like that. Now I know Bloom had a little field, Porter had a little field too, but I don't know if they had cement steps like that. I'm getting, boy, this gonna sound crazy. I'm getting Withrow vibes there. You know how you could be on the road, you didn't play take a team picture. This don't look like the whole team, by the way. So maybe this was after a win. Nobody lining up to take a picture after a loss. So maybe this was after a win out at Withrow or something. But I'm getting Withrow vibes because of the building and the stairs. When I went to Withrow, we had gym class outside. And that's the stairs from Withrow, and that gate that separated the building and the stadium. Yeah, I see some people saying Withrow. I'm getting Withrow vibes from that too. Yeah. I made this one a big deal, didn't I? I didn't mean to make it a big deal. I didn't mean to make it a super, super big deal. I really didn't. I just wanted to, I seen the picture and I'm like, dang, I noticed a couple people that I noticed in the picture, and some of those guys are not with us anymore. So I thought I would share it. It's kind of like shout outs to some of the people that I grew up with that I considered to be family when we were growing up. And then with their moms being here, at least one of their mothers being here, I thought I would, I got to show it. Mama Birch, that's your baby right there. That was Jimmy. Number 62, and Jimmy was rough. He was rough. I mean, he made sure that didn't nobody mess with him. To be honest with you, Jimmy was kind of like the enforcer. I don't know, but he was my guy. He made sure that nobody messed around with his little bros and stuff like that. He was a good guy. That was my guy. And then he went off, did some things, came home, and blah 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 blah. And he became when he got his barber license. Jimmy was he used to cut my hair when I was, not a little guy, but when I was young. I was in business for myself, and Jimmy got his barber's license. He was turning some things around and start doing some legit shit, right? And he wanted a barber shop, but Jimmy was a jokester, but he was like one of them guys that was very serious, but he joked a lot. He was like that. He what we used to say, play the dozens and talk about mamas and stuff like that. Jimmy was that. Like, he was a real big jokester. So when he told me, he was like, hey man, I'm trying to get my own barbershop, but I got to hustle. I got to hustle. So I was like, no, don't hustle to get it, because you won't have it long. Jimmy, you won't have it long. If you hustle it, if you hustle and get it the wrong way, it's not going to stay with you long. I promise you. And, he was like, well, man, shit, I got to cut some hair or something. I was like, well, you got me once a week, no matter what. I'll be sitting here with a shape up that I don't really need, but I'll come in and you cut me every week, man, and I'll send whoever I know. So he moved around to a couple barbershops. He finally landed at one that he was doing really good. He and Wayne would tear you up. Yeah. They were, them good guys, man. Good guys. I wish some of these young kids had guys like that around them today. But it's a very rare, find when you see guys in certain communities, in certain neighborhoods, that take these guys by the hand or take them by the collar or take them with a vice grip. You know what I'm saying? And kind of steer them away. And I know some of y'all done seen some of the videos, because everybody done sent these videos to me of people in the community, like in certain neighborhoods in Cincinnati. And, these what we call OGs now, these OGs today, they actually recruiting the young boys. And now the young boys are saying the same thing that, the OGs used to say. And that was, I was born like this. I was raised in this community. I was raised to do this. I was prepped to be this way. The streets is where it's at and blah, blah, blah. I mean, you don't even have to take my word on it. You don't have to take my word on it. The content is out there. I used to say it on the platform all the time about how these guys was being recruited and people was, putting these guys in losing situations. but it was falling on deaf ears, or people was clowning me about saying certain things. So I just stopped saying it, and it is what it is. I'm not tripping on that. But sometimes you have to, here's where I'm at with it. I just have to do this. I've had some time to think about this. I'm gonna fall back a little bit, because no matter how right you are about some things, some folk will never let you know that you're right or appreciate how right you are about situations that are harming them. They don't necessarily want to be right in their argument either. They just don't want you to be right. I just don't understand how we got to that point. I don't understand how we got to a point where when you say something to try to encourage or to help someone, some people can still find a way to make you out to be the bad guy or the bad girl, bad woman. You know what I mean? I don't understand that in people, other than the fact that misery loves company, and that's just a true fact. I think some people want to be the problem solver of some things, but they know once the problems are solved, they're irrelevant. So they don't really want to solve anything. They just want to talk about the problem all the time. So the problem makes them look like they have a place. I don't know. I mean, most problems that I've faced in life, I can get over. Like, I haven't had them forever. Has anybody, other than a health problem, that you can't control, you can't just get up one day in the morning and say, fuck it, I'm done with this asthma. I'm done with asthma. I'm just going to walk away from asthma. No, asthma is obviously a health problem. So you stuck with asthma as long as as long as asthma going to mess with your body. But as far as people problem or society problem, or as far as something in your life that you just don't want to deal with anymore, and you choose to continue to deal with it, that's a you problem. If you want to continue to let somebody get on your nerve, that's a you problem. If you want to continue to let some dude cheat on you or some girl cheat on you, that's a you problem. They don't have a problem. You got a problem. If you don't like how society is, well, guess what? Society is not the same way everywhere. If you don't like how things are going in certain neighborhoods, move away from the neighborhood. If you don't like how certain things are going in your community, move out of the community. If you can't fix it, move. That's what most people do. They don't sit around and bitch about it and complain about it and make it an everyday thing. Not the people that I know, and not people that got some damn sense. I just don't get it. Let me take a drink on that. Who was that? Donna? Auntie? Donna said, did you see about Kevin Farmer, Wyatt? Yeah, come on now. I seen that shit. You don't think they called me? You don't think I have a company in Cincinnati that do bonds, right? He gonna be in there. All right, because I don't know. I just want, here's what I'm gonna say, and I hate to say this because this sounds crazy to some folk, but I just want my bet paid off. Y'all think that you think, who did I bet? I bet on the air, I bet Lynch, the fourth, right? I hope he pay me my 6 hot wings. Those gonna be the best tasting hot wings. When it's free, it always tastes better. Or when you earn it through a bet or something, or somebody pay for it and they got to pull the money out your pocket, it always tastes better when somebody else pay for it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm wondering if he gonna pay on this bet. If he's watching, I hope he call in. Although he hasn't lost yet. But I just, for those that don't know, the bet was right here live on the air. I bet Damon Lynch IV that Kevin Farmer was not going to receive over 1% of the vote in Hamilton County for city council. And for those that may not know, I'm sure everybody here knows, because most people here, thank you, Carolyn Smith, she said Lynch. Thank you. Most people here love tea and love to talk about people, love to talk about people's situations. And I probably got a lot today. I'm probably going to say some things that's going to make you not want to rock with me anymore. And that's fine. I got other shit I could be doing. But then I might say some things that people have been thinking, they just won't say it out loud. I've been known to do that too over here. But one of those things happened to be the Kevin Farmer situation. Y'all knew. I hope whoever watched the platform during the interview and during the time that he called in and things of that nature, I don't even really want to call that an interview, because it sounds more like it was planted, like it was a set thing. He actually called from the psych place. I don't want to call it the psych ward, because I don't know if that's necessarily what it was, but he called from the hospital, and we talked to him for almost an hour. And he was trying to express to us how they were holding him unwillingly, like he was there and they were trying to force medicine on him and all that. And I was trying to convince him, like, bro, if you really want help, you're in the right place. You know, you're right where you're supposed to be. And you know, it turned into back and forth and this and that, and you know, the Rosemary stuff came up and blah blah blah. Well, long story short, he's back in the Justice Center. He's back locked up because he violated a TPO. Now, here's what I don't understand. I never knew. See, when we were having these conversations, I kind of understood what was going on, but I never knew that he had a TPO on him against Rosemary. I mean, he has what he's being charged with now is a burglary and a violation of a TPO. So a judge issued him a TPO, temporary restraining order, some time ago. I don't know if it was from June, or I don't know when it was from. But if I would have known there was a TPO issue while I had him on the phone, that conversation probably would have been over a long time ago. It would have been over a lot. I mean, that's when he called. I didn't know he was going to call, so I didn't have time to get my shit together about, well, what kind of questions should I ask somebody that's running for city council and they're, you know, running into these type of issues. It wasn't a set interview, so I didn't know. I was just going by the things that he was saying, and that allowed me to he opened the door for certain questioning that I gave him, and I got I got my clear understanding of what's going on there. Okay. And if a judge issued out a TPO, here's the thing. When he was the victim, the TPO against Rosemary had to have been, she can't come around him. The TPO is not, you can't go around her. That's not the TPO. The TPO was issued when she got locked up. There was a TPO where she could stand to violate, which means anything that she does within 100 feet or 100, she can only come to him with so much distance. If he walked into a store and she was in there and he said, hey, what's going on? He's not violating the TPO. She would be. She would have to exit that store or wherever they are and get the hell away from that dude. She would have to do that because she would be in violation. So now that I see that he's now locked up on a TPO, on a violation of a TPO, that means that a TPO was issued on him once before. I don't know if it was from June. I don't know if it was from a year ago. You know what I mean? Or what was that, in 23? I don't know. But when you have a TPO, I don't know how long those last. It's at a judge's discretion. So a judge could say you have a TPO until the case is over. It's pending case. You can have a TPO until the case is over with. Some people go down and get TPOs and don't even have pending matters. Okay, like I could go down and say, let me just use Donna as an example. Just say Donna's been knocking on my door. She's been harassing me. She's a neighbor, and I just don't want to be bothered with her. We don't have to have a court case in order for me to go get a TPO. I could just go ask. I could go down and ask the police department, can I get a TPO from somebody that I feel is somewhat of a threat to me? And they can issue out a TPO. And I don't know if that's what happened. That may have been what she did. They may not even have a pending case. Well, they do have a pending case where he's the victim. But I'm talking about, in order for her, she could have filed a TPO on him when she got out of the Justice Center. She could have filed a TPO last week, 2 weeks ago, a month ago, after she got out, and said, hey, I don't want him at my residence. I don't want him anywhere. She could have done that as well. So I don't know how that's playing out. I don't really care like that. But I just wanted to let y'all know that if he had a TPO on him, which I'm assuming that he did, when he was on the phone with me, my questioning and my conversation to him would have been way different. It would have been way different because, and I don't think he would have answered the questions, because now it would have explained the story that he would have had to tell that would have probably put her in a, I don't really think that he really wants to harm her. He just doesn't know how to do anything else with these tactics. It seems to be innocent in his eyes, but it's kind of a pain in the ass to her and to people that support her and love her, because these TPOs and violations of TPOs and stuff like that, they're a pain in the ass, because once the police is called, they're gonna be active, and they're gonna want to I hate to say it like this, but they're gonna arrest someone. All right, if somebody's around somewhere they're not supposed to be, they're gonna arrest you. And he also has a burglary charge. Now that sounds kind of, burglary sounds like ski mask, walked into the house, broke in and stuff like that. No, it's probably an unlawful entry. It could have been some things where he figured he was going to get his clothes or going to get some shit or going to get his signs or whatever. He went in through a side window or a side door or something like that. It was probably some type of forced entry, and that probably got him a burglary. All right. She didn't give him permission to come to the property. He probably got in and probably was going after his stuff. I don't think he went in and forced himself on her with any type of, physical attacks or anything. I'm not taking up for him. I just want to try to give y'all an idea of how that could happen. He might have been watching her. Now I'm starting to make up stuff. He may have been watching her, seeing that she wasn't home. He went in that unit to get some stuff that he had there, and he was going to grab it and go. And maybe the cameras caught him, and she called the police. I don't know. I don't know exactly how it went. I wasn't even in Cincinnati. I don't know what, the 527 says. I don't know what they said he did, other than the fact that it was a burglary charge. That all being said, I've heard a couple different things on the news when they showed the video of him going to court. They said not farmer, but farmer city council. I guess he was running for. They said he was formerly running for city council. I don't know if that's true. I think he still has his name on the ballot and he's still trying to win. So I don't know who's going to vote. Hey, Lynch the fourth. Let me say this to you, brother. I'll take 6 mild wings, all flats, and make them wet. That's all. All right. I think I'm going to win my bet. All right. And I don't mean that I'm not trying to be, funny about it, but I just think that I think I'm going to win my bet. All right. Let me give you guys a little bit of information of what's going on with me personally and why I missed most of the week. If you guys don't mind, if you want me to break it down to you, I will. Last week, you guys know the week before. Yeah, there you go, Shabba. He said, let's move on. Yeah, I'm with you. Lannis Timmons, what's good, brother? The week before, I lost my sister-in-law, right? And it was really no time is a good time to lose someone. But I'm a single, I was an only child. And I didn't really learn about brothers and sisters and things of that nature until late in age. My wife has 5 other siblings, so it's 6 girls, and they're super close. And for 32 years, I've had 6 sisters or 5 sisters, and we're family. So when we lost her, it was like me losing a family member as well. And her funeral was last Monday. Okay. So I told everybody on that Friday that I wouldn't be here on Monday of last week, and probably not Tuesday either, because when you're a family, they're a pretty large family, and they have family members coming in from all over the place. We had family members come in from Detroit, from Alabama, from Chicago, from a lot of different areas. And most of the time, these are family members that they have been doing family reunions with for years and things of that nature. So we knew that they weren't just coming in on Monday to do the funeral and then and actually it was Tuesday, excuse me. We knew that they weren't coming in on Tuesday and just going home. So most of them came in on Sunday night. We did some family oriented stuff. Monday we did a family gathering. Tuesday was the funeral. And then, you know, Detroit, everybody know how Detroit, your family are in Detroit. Detroit stayed an extra day. There was a lot going on. And then this time of year, me personally, my business, I do my audits for offices. And I knew I was going to be out in Phoenix, Arizona on Thursday. So I just went ahead and shut it down for the week and said, you know, there's a lot of tension in the air right now. Some people who watch this program and watch other programs, I'm just going to say it, y'all don't give a shit. You don't care where people are in their head and in their spirit and in their mind. You don't really care. And I see and I appreciate people enough not to be in a position where you could set me off. You feel me? Because I'm the type of individual where when I get set off, there ain't no coming back. You know, what's said is said. It's like toothpaste in a toothpaste bottle. You know, you ever tried to shove toothpaste back into a toothpaste bottle? It ain't gonna happen. So once you trigger me and once I say what I say, and it's not gonna be no made up shit, I figure if I say something to you with the intent to hurt you, it's gonna be the realest shit that's ever been in your face. It's gonna be real. So I just chose not to be in a position where people could do that. And I did that for myself. I was being very selfish. And it's part of conflict resolution in my life. I'd rather just not have a conversation with you, knowing that it's not going to go well, or you're going to try to say something or do something to push those buttons. All right. The other thing, and it leads me to this, man. I'm a little troubled. I'm a little troubled about something. Let me take a sip because I got to think about how I'm going to say this. I got wind of something some time ago. Now, y'all know me and Emmanuel Livingston are cool. All right. Y'all might not know this, but E and I talk not every day. We don't even talk that often. But when we do talk, we talk like we've always been, you know, like we do talk every day, or we don't miss a beat. And I watched his show about a week ago. And you know, I can't watch it live because my schedule, but I watched the rerun you know, and something disturbed me. It disturbed me so much that I had to call him. And hold on one second. Let me just see if I have. Let me see something. And I'm not saying anything against or, you know, about my brother behind his back, because I called him and I told him that I was going to have this conversation on the air. I told him I wasn't going to talk about it long, but I told him I was going to mention this. And I told him that I was going to give my take or my opinion on this situation. And hold on, let me see if I have this real fast. Give me one tick if you guys don't mind. Yeah, I'm a little out of practice. I've missed a whole week, and when you come back, things get a little. One second. I have this thing that I used to say about I mean, this is when I first, not necessarily when I first started, but when Emmanuel and I built somewhat of a relationship. I always said that I had his back. All right. No matter what. I tell you what, we don't agree on a whole lot of things, but that doesn't mean that I'll take that I'll disrespect someone, or I have a take on him, or that I would say something that's going to be out of line or off, off, below the belt. Let's just say that. So let me just do this real fast. Hold on.
Yeah, South Scott. Yeah. Eric Sermon, Red Cafe, hit the dawn. Let me at these niggas. Yo, I'm a tic-tac-toe tactical with it tactician. Tit for tat, 3 bombs on me, all ticking. Schizophrenic up in the kitchen with a black fifth up against my head. Just click, click, clicking it. Recheck the barrel and start respinning it. When I start medics, start resewing and restitching them. My constituents and scorpions, poisonous stingers filled with opium. Stay ripping them. I got a venomous heart filled with vigilance. That is shattered 7 continents and 10 peninsulas. Envision the vengefulness, visualize the vindictiveness. I rhyme with Sid Vicious viciousness. Who you kidding? You're soft like kittens. My grill's a pit bull. It'll kill when I say sick 'em. Restrain me, restrict me. I'm arrest and resistant. Arrest resistant. Can't be apprehended.
If you got a problem with E, if you got a problem, come and holler at me. Come on. And if you want it, we can get it started. Plus I got the whole squad siding with me.
Vernon Johnson, or excuse me, Vernon Jordan, I've never blocked you, bro. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I've never blocked you, brother. And you know it. Stop playing. What I was doing, I had an email or a text message that I needed to get through. You guys know my daughters I got things going on, and I work at the same time, and I'm doing the show sometimes whenever I can get there. But yeah, what happened? I'm trying to be as nice as possible when I say this. Let's just say I told E he's a much bigger man than I am. He's a much bigger man than I am. Because it's come to my attention that somebody approached his wife. See, this is the biggest problem that I have about doing these shows and doing this platform. Is my personal. Like, we're not regular people out here walking and have family things we got to tend to, and the things we got to do. And, some things are out of, some things you just don't do. And E is much, I guess, I'm just going to say it the way I know how to say it. He a bigger man than I am. Because I'm going to tell y'all something. I would have never said anything. I'd have just dealt with it. So I'm just letting y'all know now. If it come like that this way, I ain't going to say shit about it. This is exactly what I told him. I said, bro, you bigger than me. I wouldn't have said shit. I'd have just dealt with it. He was like, man, I shouldn't say this shit right here, but I'm going to say it. He said, man, that motherfucker 75 years old, man. What I look like? I said, bro, I know motherfucker 75 years old. Yeah, some might have missed that. I got 75-year-old waiting on deck. You know what I'm saying? Look, some things are just off limits. So I'm going to keep it right there where it's at. But it's family. Say what you want to say about me. Okay? But don't approach wives, children, family members. I don't even care if it's a cousin. I mean, some of this shit is just off. Now, here's the thing. I've been gone for a week, so I'm not trying to open up a can of worms. I'm not trying to revisit this shit. This is shit that's been on my mind that I've been wanting to say for a long time. I just never really had a reason to. This gives me a reason to say some things, bro, is just off limits. You do not approach somebody's wife, their children. You don't do that. Especially if it's a disagreement on how you feel about, I don't even know. Let's just say E and I I don't even want to use myself because I can't even put myself in a sucker move like that. Let's just say these two dudes have a problem with one another. Why would I go talk to Donna? The only way that I would talk to your significant other, to be honest with you, if you was a woman and you and I was getting into some issues like verbally or some shit, number one, I'm never gonna argue with a woman. So this is a bad example. I don't argue with my wife, so I wouldn't argue with a random. And I'm not calling you a random, Donna. I'm just saying in general, I wouldn't argue with a woman. But what I'm saying to you is this. The only way that I would go talk to somebody's significant other is if it was a woman that was coming at me reckless. Then I would have to go to her man. That's the only way I would do something like that, because I'm not going to argue. Now, y'all could think I'm wrong, but this is exactly, I don't even know if I told E this approach. I just said, the only way I would talk to somebody's significant other, if it was a woman that I was having a problem with, and I was like, look, let's get this solved, resolved, or whatever. And then if she refuses, now I got to go to the source, because she gonna end up going to get him anyway. You feel me? Like, she gonna have to go get him. So I would rather go to him, and I've done it. Y'all might not know this, but there are guys that watch this show or that pretend they don't watch it. And I've had conversations with them, nice ones. I mean, we can go all the way back to my brother Glenn from Mason. Glenn and I didn't agree on politics. And Glenn had a little bit to say sometimes, but it didn't bother me because I understood. Here's where Glenn and I were. We had an off microphone, off show conversation. And what I try to do for people, and what I try to do in my life is, I'm just going to be perfectly honest with you. If you're no value to me and I'm no value to you, then we really don't have any business. We don't have anything to do. You can't say anything that's going to hurt my feelings. If I see no value in you, like if you can't do anything for me and I can't do anything for you, then there's nothing you can say to me to piss me off or hurt my feelings. But you can if you go to my family or if you get into my business. That's just off limits. Okay, now you stepping in some shit that you really don't want to be stepping into. That's why I told E, you a bigger man than me. You're a bigger man than me. And here's the thing. Glenn and I didn't get along on the show. I shouldn't say didn't get along. We didn't agree. We never argued. He's my guy. We was cool. But when the clock, when the show went off, Glenn and I could kick it. We talked numbers. Helped him get his car. I didn't finance the car for him, but gave him little secrets here and there and stuff. Glenn was a really nice guy. Okay. We just didn't agree on politics, or we didn't agree with certain things, or there were certain things that we just didn't see eye to eye on, but that didn't mean that I didn't like him. And he was not, from my understanding, unless he was disrespectful behind my back. And he might have said, no, I don't agree with that. But we never was really disrespectful. So, just for the record, I'm putting it out here. And I mean this as nicely as I possibly can. Just know that I wouldn't have said anything. If I was E, I'd have dealt with it. Just letting you know. So anybody that want to get mad, or anybody that want to feel a certain kind of way, feel how you want to feel. Now, what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to sit here. I think I said enough. I said enough. And see, E made a good point, because I listened to his whole commentary about how he felt about it. And I'm not going to mix my conversation that I had with him personally with his commentary, because it was different. He was being nice on the air. He was being nice. But our private conversation was some different shit. But I'm just going to tell y'all, I understood where he was coming from when he was trying to tell y'all that y'all be believing too much shit that these people that y'all be liking. Like these fake fraud ass people, like y'all like the shit that they be talking about, and they be lying. They liars, paid liars. And you better be careful who you believe in, especially if they benefit from saying the shit that they say. So E, I don't know, maybe he'll watch this later. But bro, like I said before, bro, I got mad love for you, mad respect for you. And you handled that a lot better than I would have handled it. He handled it a lot better because I wouldn't have said shit. I told him that. I was like, bro, I wouldn't even have said shit. I wouldn't have said, and some of my boys, y'all know, 1335, y'all know what I'm talking about. I wouldn't have said shit on the air. I wouldn't have said shit. I wouldn't have said a damn thing. I would have acted like the shit didn't even happen. Shaba, I wouldn't have said nothing. So just to let you know, people shoot shots all the time. They say things, they get your personal business and shit all out there, try to say things about you personally and all that old shit. It's a little out of scope. It's not cool to do that, but I ain't gonna never let you know. I'll never say who, you just won't know. All right. So E, appreciate you, bro. Maybe you'll watch this later. None but love for you, man. I think you were a bigger man than most men. I'm not advocating for violence, but I'm just saying that is kind of pushing a grown man's button. That's pushing a grown man's button. And I don't know if, see, here's another angle. I shouldn't be talking about this because it's messy. I'm a better man than this type of shit. But I'm just letting you know that's how you cause problems in people's home. But see, I've met Mrs. Livingston before, and she's a Livingston. She ain't, you're not gonna convince her that he's wrong. You feel me? Just like a real woman, a woman that has a wife, a husband. The husband should never be wrong in public to anybody. It's always me till death do us part, we together. And sometimes people work these angles and do shit like this. And I gave E a perfect example. Sometimes people do shit to rattle people's homes up. You see what I'm saying? Like, give you a perfect example. My wife and I, we were in Cincinnati, and we were at a department store, I believe up in the Liberty area. We was in like this big department store. Macy's, Dillard's, whatever. I don't know. I don't get up there that often. It was one of those type of stores. And it had to be a couple years ago because we were Christmas shopping. And when we were walking through the store, someone seen me. And I happened to see them from across the room. It was a female. It was a lady that I knew from the Facebook, from social media, let's just say. It could be any other platform. I don't know. And she did some of the foulest shit I've ever seen a woman do. And I had to, my wife isn't used to shit like this. She don't know. We've never been public people like this. You know what I mean? She don't even like to go to the fights because our name is all over the place. Our name is on the ring and up in the banners and shit like that. She don't like that type of stuff. And I understand it's not for everyone. So we're walking through the department store and this lady yells my name. She says, Wyatt. I turn around and I know exactly who she is. And I'm going to be respectful because I could be wrong on my read of what I thought she was trying to do. But ladies, y'all something else. Not all of you. Some of y'all something else. She walks over to us and it's been a long time. I ain't seen you in a long time. As if we have been like I've seen you before. Like we used to high five out in the street, or we used to go to the gym together. So I only know you from social media. Like I see your pictures. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. If you watch the show sometimes, thank you. That type of thing. So what she says to me, oh, she's totally ignoring my wife. Like my wife is standing right next to me and she totally ignores her. No, hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? None of that. You ain't even got to call her Mrs. Wyatt. You don't know if it's Mrs. Wyatt. It was, but you tend to want to ignore her. So it's a bad vibe. And you trying to make it seem like you and I know each other, like we just the best of fucking friends or whatever. People don't understand that take problems home. Even when you in a really good relationship, it's still the disrespect that somebody would do. So I had to stop and I was like, I do know. What's your name again? I had to play her like that because I really didn't remember her name. And then I had to introduce her to my wife, like, hey, this is Mrs. Wyatt. And she was like, how you doing? And kept on looking me straight in my eyes. And I'm saying to myself, why would you do that? Why would you do that on purpose? And I know that might sound a little bit different than what I was just talking about, but it's not really that different. Because when somebody approaches your wife about how you moving out here and what they talking about and what they doing, and you need to tell your husband not to do this, when you talking like that, you don't know how that wife is going to react. She ain't going to fuss and cuss at you probably because you probably know her personality. But what happens when she get home? You don't know if that woman is going to say, I'm tired of this shit. I'm so sick and tired of people coming up and blah, blah. And it only take one person for her to make it seem like everybody, you know what I'm saying? Everybody doing it. No, everybody's not doing that. It only take one person to do this. And I tried to tell E, like, bro, that was kind of an approach. I mean, does this person really believe your wife gonna sit there and come back and tell you to not say anything about them or whatever? I mean, maybe they know you and your family a little bit better than I do, but I can't imagine somebody approaching my wife, telling her something about what I'm doing, and then her coming home and being on their side. Now, I'm not saying it couldn't cause some friction. This is why I'm telling you that's another angle. Somebody could do that just to start some shit at your home. And that's why I'm telling y'all that is out of line. It's disrespectful. It's out of pace. I've had it done to me twice by females. And y'all better be lucky. And I'm talking to those two that had done this. Y'all better be lucky that the relationship that I have is very strong and trick was no good, as my man Steve always says. I just don't like it when people try to mess up people's homes or try to be a man. If this was a woman that approached his wife and said, hey, can you do me a favor? Because that's a woman confronting a woman saying, hey, can you can you have a little better control of what's going on with him? Because, girl, I don't want to say nothing to him because I don't want to get out of hand. And that's women to women having a conversation. But a man grabbing a woman, saying something to a woman, it's just a little bit different to me because I think men should be able to hash shit out. Men should be able to have a conversation and say, hey, look, dog, if you don't like what I'm saying over there, just don't come over there. Tell everybody that got your back to just stop watching me if you don't like what I'm talking about over there. Y'all heard me say it on the air. If you don't like what I'm talking about, just go away. Matter of fact, there's another show that come on the same time that I'm on that you can go play with them and have fun and do all that old backdoor and shoot the shit and have a great time with them. I'm just not the one that you can really play them type of games with without some type of, well, I know. Let me go to the phone lines real fast before I try to move on to something different, okay? I'm sorry, y'all. It just bothered me. It still bothers me. And yeah, let me go to the phone lines if you don't mind. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with? Uh-oh, hold on one second. Let me see if I can get this thing going on. It's been a week, y'all. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Sorry about that.
Hey, brother Wyatt. This is Alethea.
Alethea, what's good with you, sis? How's things going?
I got an off day finally.
An off day?
Yes.
Okay, well, shit.
I can just chill, do what I want to do. I'm cool. I'm good.
That's what's up. We
So
all
this is a
deserve
good
one
day
of
for me.
those. We all deserve one of those.
So
What's on your mind?
yes, one of those. You've been off for a while.
Yeah.
And I know you've been making big moves, and I can't wait for you to tell us all about it.
Yeah,
if
don't
you
say
decide
nothing out loud.
to.
Don't
And
keep it.
I got you. I'm just saying. But also with the topic you're on, I just, as a woman, I understand Emmanuel's position. I don't ever want to be approached about my husband. I think that is a man thing to do. You approach that man. But, and this is why I want to ask you the question, if you know or you don't know.
Okay.
Did they previously have a relationship? Because I do know Emmanuel and him worked under the same job for a long time, and they probably had some type of relationship where they done talked before, So, do you think it was something like that where he felt comfortable going to the wife, like, "Hey, what's up with your husband?"
I thought about that. I thought about that, sis, and that's a great question. But here's the thing. I think what would answer that? See, I wasn't present for the conversation that the wife and let's just say who it is. Okay, it's Emmanuel and his wife. Okay, I wasn't present. Right. I'm sorry, because at first it sounded like I was kind of hiding, and I'm not. I just don't want to talk about the people on the radio because I don't really, I don't do that.
Okay.
But here's my thing. You have to consider how the conversation was between the husband and wife. How was it relayed back to Emmanuel from his wife? I pay attention to that. Now, if it wasn't a big deal, I think she probably would have just said it in a way that it wasn't a big deal. Oh, girl, oh, honey, he just said blah, 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 and it wasn't a big deal. But I think there might have been some type of, not necessarily aggression, but I think she didn't really feel like, if you could tell from your wife if she's in a comfortable or uncomfortable situation. The man may not have made her feel uncomfortable, but the approach might have been settled, it might have been nice or whatever. But I still believe the conversation was supposed to be between the two people that have the issue. Why would you want?
Right.
Why I would never go to look. The right approach would be, "Hey, Donnie, man, Alethea tripping. We need to have. Can you talk to her? Because I don't want to be checking somebody's wife, just like somebody shouldn't be checking my wife. You feel me? That right. But like if it was, if it was, if it was the other way around, I get it. But this is one of them things where, I just don't think you should go to somebody's wife and tell them what to tell their man. That's just fucking, right. I don't think you can say it in a way that's going to convince me that it was done properly. I can't find it.
Well, I'm just trying to see why was there comfort in that, because I'm going to be totally honest with you. I'm not approachable when it comes to my husband at all. Like, you'll probably get a bigger fight out of me than Donnie.
No, and that's the problem. See, that's the problem.
And that's probably where he found comfort, was going to the wife.
I just hold on, sis.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but see what you just said, that's the problem. In most cases, and now this is where y'all gonna really not, probably 90% of people won't agree with me here. But in most cases, women are a lot more aggressive when it comes to the mouth, when it comes down to protecting the home. Guys are a little bit more laid.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, like if somebody came to you about some shit Donnie doing, you wouldn't even be out. You wouldn't be trying to check Donnie in your mind in front of this person. You'll be like, well, what the fuck? Where you get that from? And why are you coming at me about that type shit? What are you talking about? That's how women get. I think Mrs. Livingston, and I don't want to speak for them, but I think she's been around this profession.
She's older. Yeah, she has more of a decorum about her.
And she probably.
But I asked E-Man, I said, well, I didn't ask. I just stated an opinion of mine. Like, I don't know at that age, knowing y'all history, if I would have brought that back. And he said, I would have had a trust issue at that point with her. I was like, whoa, that's deep. That is deep. Only because what I'm about to say. Mm-hmm. As men, and you trade back and forth, I don't know all the history. I just know what stick out to me because it's funny. It's not for me to like throw jabs at any one of them. I don't know them that well. But I do know I was on air one time, and E-Man called their daughter fat. But he said the reason why he did that is because the daughter said something about him. So he chimed right back in. So when you get to like kids, it's kind of almost fair ball. Like to me, this all opinionated. Because you're attacking my family.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And now that's when it's time to have a man to man. Like, look, there's no way we gonna like I hear you, sis, but there's no way me being a man that I can really see it any other way other than, hey, look, if you saying some stuff about if I have a issue, I've done it with people that watch the show. Like if they have an issue with me and I think it's getting a little out of hand, I'll reach out like, look, we need to have a conversation, dog, because this shit ain't like remember when I used to say I ain't a radio dude? I don't mean to be disrespectful to the radio guys, but this is how this all started from the radio. We didn't have podcasts back in the day. We didn't have, ways of listening to shows other than the radio. So it wasn't just the radio I was describing. It was the chain of command type of a thing. Like radio hosts and people like that can't really say certain things because they have supervision. They can't really do what we can do. So they have to be careful what they say, but they also have to take criticism and they have to take abuse that's not really necessary. Like
can I speak on that real quick?
Yeah, they can be abused verbally and they can't really do anything. And I think that's wrong. That they can't really shoot back like you could on podcasts. That's the reason why I used to say I ain't one of them radio dudes, bro. Like you can't just be saying no reckless shit to me and it ain't no blowback from it. See what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm not trying to be no bully.
But the other part was done on social media, and I'm no way taking up for the other person. It's just when I seen it was kind of like, it wasn't a viral thing. It was like, if you knew E-Man, you knew like, oh God, it made me ask, who in the hell is he talking about? But then when I found out, I was like, oh my gosh, this is a low blow. But he said the daughter came for him. Okay, so and if that's now it's like you said, E-Man has a podcast. He can say whatever he wants.
Yeah.
The other guy don't. He's regulated. So the only way for him to say or relay a message, he thought that opportunity was through his wife. You get what I'm saying? But as you said, it was disrespectful. You don't do it. You don't confront a woman about a man. Find a different way. Just find a different way.
Here's the thing. But, let me just say something about that. Let me kind of give you an approach to a woman. Tell me if this is right or wrong. Let's just say that he did see Mrs. Livingston out. And let's say that when Emmanuel left that employment, he changed his phone numbers. He had no way of getting contact. And that's hard to say these days because you can always message somebody. You can get a hold of people that don't want to get a hold of you. You can find a way to get them, right? But let's just say, for argument's sake, that he happened to see his wife out there. The approach and the conversation, she didn't even have to know what he wanted to talk to Emmanuel about. He could have just said, listen, do me a favor. Can you give Emmanuel my cell phone number? Can you have him give me a call or have him email me? I need to talk to him about something. How you been? You been okay? Good. Good to see you again. And that should have been it. All that old shit about why I got a problem with him, that shouldn't be in the conversation. I wouldn't do that. If a man owed me money or some shit, I'm not going to go knock on his door and I'll knock on his door, but I ain't going to tell his wife in front of nobody. If he ain't there, I'll leave a message. Can you let him know that Wyatt came by? I need to talk to him. I'm not going to sit there and be
I don't think they're the problem for each other, honestly. Like when I see Emmanuel talking about him, and this is publicly, I'm not saying what he do personally, but publicly, it's very vague. Like he'll jab, of course, but I don't think they're the problems. I think it's the listeners, because when you watch it, you can see the messages going back and forth. Kind of what happened to you too, where other listeners would come. I didn't know people had problems with you in your own podcast, in your chat. Well, it was like everybody got along, but when you go over to E-Man's, you'll see the disrespectful verbiage,
and that's they have
trying to get somebody else on their coattail with them. And that's what I see in the other platform as well. I think it'd be the listeners. They're old, they have nothing else to do but start trouble between people. yes, he took it too far of confronting the wife. He was out of place and out of line. She remained a woman as she should have, but I wouldn't have had that much tolerance. Like, hopefully, I have that grace and decorum when I, get seasoned
That's
of
why.
his
That's why.
wife's
If I
age.
had a
But
problem, that's
that was
why.
totally,
That's
totally out of
why.
line. But I wanted to ask personally, like, did they ever have a good relationship between the wife and him? And
It
that's why he
don't
approached.
matter.
So that was my only question
I
for
know,
real.
babe. Listen, sis. I know, babe. But let me just say that if they had the greatest relationship in the world, meaning the man that approached the wife, if they had picnic, great relationship, went to high school together relationship type of people, if they even had that, it's just certain things that you don't discuss with a man's wife, especially if it's
Women or children, Wyatt. You can't leave that. Women and children is off limit. Children mean you know who their parents are. I don't care if they're older or younger. They are off limit. The same respect you want to give a wife, you have to give a child. Because we know children are disrespectful as well. So leave women and children out of it. They're
that's
off
why I
limits.
wouldn't even
If
take
y'all are two men, keep it between you two.
that's why I wouldn't even take the chance. If I didn't know you the way I know you, sis, and you said something or you was talking in the chat all the time, and then I seen you down at the casino, I am not, if I got a problem with you, I probably won't talk to you about it. I probably would say something to the person that I know that if you and I have a issue, you gonna have to go get him. I'd go get Donnie. I'd be like, hey, Donnie, can you do me a favor, bro? And that's not the same as if a woman is being approached by a man. It's not the same to me. I just think that if a man has a problem with a man, I just don't see why you go talk to his woman about it unless y'all cool if y'all cool in the gang, that's different. Okay, if you don't have a working relationship with this person, that's why I understood what you was talking about. Like, what kind of relationship do they have? But it's not a good enough relationship where Mrs. Livingston, when she got home or wherever she broke the news to him, it offended him. Like most men would have got offended. Like, dog, don't come talking to my wife about some shit me and you got going on. I just don't think that that's what you do.
Yeah, that took a lot of grace. That took a lot of grace for her. I want to shout her. I have no idea who she is. But to see a man that I know my husband don't get along with and had to try to, do some crazy stuff and know he's a liar, know what he's made of. Wives be knowing. They know before the husband know for real, but they just wait for the husband to figure it out. But to know so much stuff and watch him walk up on me, I would not have been approachable because I know what it was coming with. But even with that, I think as grown men, they're both very seasoned men. One is older than the other. I think he took that approach because he don't have control or say so of what he can do at his job. This is what you all choose to do. And I'm sure by Eli's show, well, E-Man show, the other guy's asleep. Let's be real. He probably just knocked out.
I don't really want to make
it seemed childish both ways to me, though. I'm gonna be honest.
I don't know. Maybe so.
It sounds because when I heard the fat remark to the daughter, and he gave me the excuse,
so
and I
you
was
trying
like,
to tell me he just?
I think
wait a minute, hold
I think
on,
the approach came because he's emotional.
So hold on.
It didn't come because he wanted to challenge him. It's because he knew he would get under his skin. Eli is very emotional because emotions will get you in a way where you're becoming combative and because I'm sure if you knew how to get in contact with email knows how to get in contact with him. So you didn't really have to say that or put a message out of your daughter's fat.
No, what he tried to do, let's just be honest. Let's be honest. One party took the easy, he knocked, basically he chose the easy target. He tried to go to he tried to go to the wife.
I just felt like he wanted to get under his skin.
I think that's why most men feel the way they feel about it. Some people might have a different opinion about it. I don't know. I don't want to beat a dead horse on it, but I'll just say this to y'all. Anybody that got an issue with me, please bring it to me. Don't take it to my wife, even if you know.
That'll never happen.
That's what I'm saying, and I think that's fair to say. I think it's easy to say that I don't care if they was Gucci, if they went to high school together or whatever. The only conversation that should have went on between them, other than, hey, how you doing? How's life? And blah, blah, blah. That's cool if y'all know each other like that. But don't bring up something between me and another man.
Exactly. Because the thing, what I said that'll never happen is because your wife don't be in those circles. That's why I wanted to ask, like, wait a minute. It's too much of a comfort to know who your wife was, to stop whatever he was doing and go to the wife. This will never happen with you because you don't have your wife in that circle. You know what I mean? Like, nobody will have access to your wife unless you got that close to another man where you introduced your wife and your wife was comfortable with him and he was comfortable with your wife. So that's why I said, like, there was a little bit too much comfortability, but I'm gonna drop it. But I think they're both wrong in their ways.
Here go the thing. Hold on, sis. Here go the thing. They worked together for 20 years. You're gonna know the man's wife in some capacity. Okay, you're gonna know her by seeing her. Like I said, they may not have had third grade or third bell lunch, and all that shit together. But it's hard for me to be in a job for 20 years in a condensed small area like that and have functions, because it's an entertainment field. So you're going to have functions. You're going to have family going to come out. It's very hard to think that they've never known each other or seen each other. I think the disconnect in our conversations here is just, even if you have a problem with me saying what I said, just tell my wife that you're trying to get a hold of me and have me reach out to him or you or whatever. Don't run what we need to be talking about through the pipe, through my wife. That's all I'm saying is that's the whole shit, right? That's the thing. That's the part that kind of makes
and that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
It's not that look, they could have been thick as thieves back in the day. They could still be cool or whatever. I don't know. But just don't talk to my wife about what me and you need to be talking about. That's it. I think that's the only thing I'm holding. I'm standing on the circle on that. That's it.
And that is a long time to work with somebody for 20 years and job functions, and they were popping 20 years ago. So, yeah, that's probably where that relationship came from. But he better be happy she ain't jab his butt.
But see, let me tell you something.
That's horrible. You can't approach somebody's family.
Exactly. But see, sis, see how that could have been a problem right there. What if that would have triggered her? Like, motherfucker. See, I know some sisters that would have took it a lot better than Mrs. Livingston. I mean, they wouldn't have took it as good as she did. Like she went back, like, okay, this is what happened. I know some sisters that would have cussed that dude out for that. You feel me? That would have been in his ass for that type shit. And then that could have caused a real problem. Because now if you say something disrespectful to my wife, now I got to counter. Now I ain't gonna be talking words. Now it don't matter how old you are. You didn't disrespect my wife by saying some shit because you triggered her. See, you have to think frames ahead before you start talking to people's people. Because what if he would have said something that would have made her get disrespectful? What if she would have said, like, I got some female friends that would have let him have it. Like, motherfucker, don't be talking to me about some shit you need to be talking to a grown ass man about. And then what if he was the type of dude that would have got fly back? And now they would have ended up, when I see him, it's gonna be go.
It's on, yeah.
See what I'm saying? We on go as soon as
but that's why I said shout out to the wife, because she knew her husband. If she did not say it to him, he would have had an attitude. That's why I said marriages are different. Me, myself, I probably would have handled it and not said anything to my husband, because I don't want him to blow up where it could hurt our household. I'm more of a protector. So yeah, like the grace she showed, the decorum she showed, the poise to even leave and wait till she got home to her husband, finished her night off, probably finished a little glass of champagne off. I don't know, but you're right. Stay away from the women and children. Because you're going to get the same reaction. So that's why I felt like it came like, well, she said something about the daughter. So, of course, the parents going to be angry.
It's like,
but,
it's like this, sis. If somebody come on here and start talking personal and saying some things, or, man, I saw what you said something about my daughter and I didn't like it. All right, if I got a problem with you about that, I'm gonna call you. If it burns me to the point where I feel like I need to say something to you about it, I'm gonna reach out to you. And I'm not gonna let everybody know about it either. That's how men work through shit. I'm not even gonna tell y'all. I've called people. I've reached out to people that I seen that were being disrespectful, and that I felt like, okay, like, you know, it's time for a conversation, because I'm not the radio dude. I don't have to accept it like I'm on somebody's payroll. If you get,
but if somebody said something about your daughter, well, you just had the comment. I'm sorry for cutting you off. You just had the comment. If it ever happened to you, just know you're not saying anything. You're just going your actions. It's just your actions. So, what do you think will happen even about your daughter? Your daughters are grown. We all know that, but they're still your daughters. What is the reaction then? That's what I'm saying. Like, you got to be careful what you put out there, because it's a swing. Both of them shouldn't be touched. As men, if we're gonna keep it all the way real,
I understand.
it shouldn't be touched. It shouldn't be touched. So that's all I'm saying. Like, fair is fair.
Okay,
you got one in, he got one in.
Okay, now
let's break it off even. Let's stay off of that, because it's bad territory.
But wait a minute. I know what E would say if he was listening. If he was talking right now, I would guess I'm gonna guess this. Oh,
he would say the daughter swung first.
Exactly. And see,
but you're a man. You're a man.
No,
that's what I'm saying.
No. We're on a platform, and we're on an opinionated platform. And if somebody says something, now we talking words now, right? We're talking words. So if you want to blow me, if you want to hit me below the belt and hit me with an insult, and then I insult you back, now I got to stand on I'm the man platform. That ain't gonna work. Now I would never put my hands. I would never put my hands on you for your comments about my daughter. That's just different. Okay, I wouldn't do that. But if I swing back, like, with words, because you insulted me, or you insulted my daughter, that's insulting me, and I say something about you or your kid, now I got to stand on. I got to be the bigger person. I got to be the man, and I'm being a man by not putting my hands on you and all that. Now, as far as the discipline and not saying something back, now I might fall short of that. I might say something back, but I just don't think that Emmanuel, not the guy that I know. Now I know he say some things and he antagonizes and he does push buttons, but I don't think he probably was the initiator. I don't think he was the person that said something first that was insultive.
No, he didn't.
Okay, so then there's no excuse. There's no excuse for now. I'm right back where I began in this whole argument. It'd be one thing if he just started the shit and he just made all these insults, and now you're insulting.
But he declared war, like, to another man.
Declare war.
That's a declaration of war. Like, when you say things like that, they're both have their own following. And what they have to understand, your following is still his following. You get what I mean? Like, they're going to carry that bone and create more of a tornado than what it really was. Like, you and I see it, like, the doctor said something, and when you talk to somebody, just know it's coming right back. But to us as parents, like, nah, that's my daughter. 20 years ago, she was a little girl, or wherever she stood 20 years ago. Like, we probably ate together. You broke bread together. So all I'm saying is, it should have been more like, okay, I'm gonna let you swing that one. But man to man, that is declaration of war.
Hold on, sis. Let me bring in E. He trying to reach in. Hold on 1 second. E, you there? Hold on 1 second, guys. I don't know how to do this. Okay. Who on the phone? Shit. Who I got on the phone right now?
My name is Emmanuel.
Oh, what's up, E? I'm sorry. Hold on 1 second. You there, bro?
Yes.
Okay. I hope I didn't hang up on sis. I don't know how to work this 2-way, 3-way, 4-way stuff. They don't do it like they used to. Sorry, man. Listen. Let me just do a PSA real fast, if you don't mind. I'm not trying to start nothing, bro. You and I had a conversation about this. I've been out of the office. I've been out of here for a whole week, and I told you when I reached out to you. And I told you I was going to have something to say about this, because I'm in the same boat as you, bro. A lot of people don't understand that, sometimes things happen away from these microphones out here in public. And, I just, I brought this up. You knew I was going to bring it up, but I'm not trying to start anything. I just wanted to have a comment, because I feel like it affects me as well, because it's happened to me, just not the same way it happened to you. You understand what I'm saying?
I do, and you're not gonna start nothing. I just wanted to answer Alethea's question.
Okay. What was
Uh,
what was the question? She
her
said a lot.
her question was about the comment to his daughter, and, without really going into it, because I really didn't want to necessarily even bring her into it
Okay.
that much. But without going into it, the whole ordeal with his daughter has been an entire saga over the course of probably about 15 years. And I've said to him I don't know how many occasions, like, bro, get your daughter, man. She just be tripping. And I ain't trying to, you know what I'm saying, disrespect her, blah, blah, blah. And even on air, he's told his daughter, like, just don't say nothing to him. Just don't say nothing. Just don't say nothing. But she don't stop. And you know how it is. Somebody say something,
do.
you know, oh, Wyatt, you this. And you're like, okay, whatever. Oh, Wyatt, you this. You're like, all right, whatever. Wyatt, you this. And eventually you like, sit your fat ass down, you know. And now you, oh my God, I can't believe you said, oh, I can't believe you. Hold on, I'm short, I'm ugly. You know what I'm saying? You got 1.5 million insults for me, but when I tell you sit your fat ass down, the world is crashing.
Yeah, now
you know?
the world is falling apart. And
right.
Yeah, I
So
hear you.
but even with all of that, believe it or not, me and Lincoln.
Hey, hold on. Let me say something to you, because this is something that we did. Remember when we did the live show down in Findlay Market?
Yeah.
Remember that blowback I got for making that comment to that girl?
Yes, I do.
This is how, if for those that don't understand how this is relevant to me, you understand where I'm coming from, why I wanted to address this situation, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can say some things back to people, and then the world is coming to an end when you return to serve, but they can just say whatever and do whatever to you. See, that's what people think. But go ahead, bro.
And then look, believe it or not, what was that, 6 months ago, 7 months ago, something like that? Lincoln and I actually had a whole discussion about it. And it's like, all right, bro, you agree you gonna tell your daughter not to say nothing to me, or if she could say something to me, not, but if she throw an insult, I'm gonna throw one back. And the fact that I know which insult touches that nerve, what's coming from me. So just tell her, leave me alone. He like, all right, she'll leave you alone. In 6, 7 months, we ain't had a single interaction, which is why his excuse don't make sense. I haven't had an interaction with your daughter, and we've discussed it 6, 7 months ago. And then you see my brother in your studio, and you don't say nothing to him because this whole situation been squashed. But then you see my wife, and you talking about you need to tell your husband. Wait a minute. Why ain't you say that to my brother? You need to tell your brother. Or even, what is you talking about? Because it ain't been no dust ups, no nothing in 6 or 7 months. So yeah, and it ain't really, again, Mrs. Livingston, she wasn't scared. As a matter of fact, she came home and she like, because she don't follow all that radio stuff. So she came home and she like, you and Lincoln beefing or something? And I'm like, why you say that? And she like, because he approached me at this event, like, I need to tell you, blah, blah, blah. She's like, and I didn't know anything was going on. And I'm like, oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
And so for me, because I know, you got all these people who, and I get it, he's a likable guy. People like Lincoln Ware. But Lincoln Ware do dirty stuff to a lot of people. And people don't say nothing about it. So people run around here thinking, Lincoln is this and Lincoln is that. And I'm just like, you know what? Let me just expose this dude a little bit. Let me just share with people what kind of person he is. Trust me when I tell you, I'm not finished dealing with that whole situation. But that's not something that, as a matter of fact, my phone, I would have called him, but my phone is blocked from his phone.
Okay.
But
I was just wondering why you guys didn't have a conversation. That was just my look. I understand where you're coming from. Like we had the conversation, but at the same time, I just think that I understand, bro. I just think that a person, if they have a problem with you, if a man has a problem with another man, I think it's just appropriate. Now, let's just say, for instance, this gentleman and your wife were real good friends. and they went to high school together, and they, you know, maybe they was in the band together. I don't know. And they had some type of, maybe she worked at the radio station with y'all some time ago, and they had a working relationship. And he felt comfortable saying to her, look, can you just have your husband give me a call or something so I need to talk to him about an issue. That's what I would think that the conversation would have been about. You feel me? But to talk about what the issue is, or to bring up the issue, that was the only thing I thought was a little out of, you know, I think that's the problem I have with it.
But just to be clear, I just brought it to the public to make people aware, because, you know, I don't necessarily mind being the bad guy, because I'm always the bad guy. But I think sometimes people need to know who the real bad guy is. They're not going to believe it. They're not, you know what I'm saying? And people, oh, Lincoln said, and people, I even have people like, oh, that didn't happen. Oh, that didn't happen. And then Lincoln comes on air like, well, I didn't confront her. I just saw her and I went and I said, well, you need to tell your husband. I'm like, when did that cease to be a confrontation? And then people say, I knew he was lying.
I think what
he said exactly what I said. He said.
Yeah, I think you can paint a picture in your mind about how certain things go down. It all depends on who's absorbing the information. Some people might think that maybe you presented it in a way like he went to your wife aggressively. I know you didn't say it that way. I heard you on the show, but I'm just saying they could probably, once it's in their mind, now they're picturing he might have came over and was like trying to check her in a way like, you need to get your husband, blah, blah, blah. Maybe they're, you know, got the information that kind of way. And that's why they thinking, you know, the way they're thinking about it. Maybe he came to her real subtle, like they were friends at once upon a time. And he said, look, can you have Emmanuel stop talking about my folks and blah, blah, blah. And however the conversation went. My point is, it doesn't matter if he was aggressive. Right. It does matter if he was aggressive. That's different. If he was nice about it, you still pulled my wife into what we doing. That was the only conversation I had about it. I think if he, and I don't know Mr. Ware like you do, you 20 years with Mr. Ware. I just think that if he had a chance to do it all over again, I think he probably would make a different decision. So that's why I don't want to make it a super big deal. But I know some people that would really that would try to crash the home, like purposely do this and say some things to my wife. I gave you that example before about the lady that did it to me and my wife at the department store. People do stuff like that to try to add friction to the home. And that could have been a tactic as well. Like, you know.
Well, I'm certain that he thought, because again, a lot of people don't know him. So you don't know this about him. And because you don't know him and you don't know these things about him, you don't understand that just this being exposed is doing something to him. But he has to be the good guy. And, you know, he is another one of those, I'm the good guy. And if anybody say anything about me, I'm the victim. And so really what he thought was he was going to paint me as the villain, and she was going to come home like, oh, why are you messing with Lincoln? He's such a good guy. Yeah. You shouldn't say this. You shouldn't do that. And Lincoln this, Lincoln that. But it didn't work out that way.
Right. And I can see that.
So I just felt like he needs to be exposed.
Well, here's the thing. Saying it that way, though, saying it that way, I can't see a lot of malice in what he was trying to do. You feel me? Like, I don't see malice there when you explain it that way. However, I still stand on my circle of, if you have a problem with me, you know, like, just tell my wife if you see her, just be like, hey, can you have Wyatt give me a call? I just need to talk to him about something.
Like you said, he got my number. He blocked my phone calls, but he could call me every day of the week. He's not going to do that because he know he was out of order. And again, there was nothing to discuss. Ain't nothing been said in over 7 months. So there was nothing to discuss. He just, you know, kind of, like you said, wanted to create some friction. He wanted to be the good guy and all that kind of stuff. And believe me, he is really upset just that he got exposed doing that, because he does stuff like that on a regular and nobody says anything about it because he's Lincoln Ware. And for a lot of people, that means something. But for me, that don't mean shit. That just means you some old dude that I used to work with. But hey, I'm going to expose you. And he is not happy that people know that this is the kind of person that he is.
Well,
That's all it was about.
Just for the record, let me say this, and I probably should have said this as soon as you called, but just for the record, just to be fair, he's not here to defend himself. So he doesn't. He might say that he did it a different kind of way. He may have been an approach. He might have been like, "Hey, girl," or maybe he might say maybe she approached him, or you know what I'm saying. And it doesn't matter. My point was, don't even talk about what my problem is with your husband. That's my point. Just tell him, hey, give me a call. Have him give me a call.
And that's the way men handle that.
That's what I think. And you know that. You know I've had to do that with a few people, and I told you that I've reached out to a few people. And if we don't see eye to eye, that's cool. But there's just certain things that can be said and talked about that's somewhat personal, and it just shouldn't be part of the conversation. I mean, I don't bring people's personal stuff into the program. Like, you know, if you run a business and you did some bad business, that's one thing, you know, but I'm not going to bring in your personal. I know some guys that embezzled money in the city, and y'all ain't saying, well, not y'all, but they're not talking about it. And I know they didn't bought property overseas or in the DR and shit like that. That's what, you know, I just wouldn't bring that type of stuff up. I'll talk about the bad business that you had or that you did, but what your personal and how you getting along with your wife at home and all that old shit, I don't tap dance into that type of stuff.
And women, don't pick fights with people if you don't want them to respond. You know what I'm saying?
You know, there's nothing worse than that.
Thing. You don't attack somebody over and over and over and over and over, and then when they respond, oh, he said this, oh, he did this. Don't do that. That's just not right.
Some of us are used to that. I used to give this example. Growing up down the way, there was always one little big head ass girl that started shit with everybody in the neighborhood. And then when you finally blow back at her ass or say something or push her off of you, she go home and she run and go get all her brothers, all her cousins down on Lynn and Vine and all this old shit. Now you fighting half the community fighting because one person was starting shit, you know, right. And you just, you know, it's kind of juvenile, but grown people still do stuff like that. They start fights, and then when somebody finally mug them in their face back, now they got a problem. You the bad guy.
But again, why? Like I said, I exposed it. That was really it for me. And then, you know, it's really only dragging on because every time somebody mentioned it, he blow a gasket. And of course, he only blows a gasket because, you know, he don't like the fact that he was exposed. But I'm from a public standpoint, I'm done with it. I got some other stuff that's happening in the background. Good. But from a public standpoint, you know, pretty much I'm done with it. He got exposed. The only way that I'm even addressing it now, because, you know, the whole thing about, oh, he attacked his daughter and, oh, they've been going at it for years and out of this and that. Like, no, none of that stuff is relevant to what happened. And that's that.
No, I understand. Sometimes, you know, you can only bite your tongue so many times. I get it. Trust me, I get it. Like people think when you finally say something that you're not being the bigger person, but you could tolerate people for only so long that say things or do things, or, you know, they don't have a problem saying some shit in broad daylight about you on the air, in the chat or whatever. And then as soon as you say something about them, then they get their clicks to start trying to come at you. And I know that feeling. So maybe you just had enough, but I know that you have never really done anything like this until that move was done. Like you would have never said anything to this capacity about that individual until he crossed that boundary of bringing, you know, talking to your wife. So I got your back on that. But like I said, he's not here to defend himself. I don't know how that conversation went, but it don't matter. He could have gave her a dozen roses and said, hey, how you been? I ain't seen you since the 3rd grade or whatever. How's your life? Good to see you. God bless you. All of that. Could have said all of that. But where he went wrong is when you start bringing up our beef, your beef with someone else. And I think that's where I drew the line. That's it.
All right.
All right, brother. I appreciate you calling in, man. Hopefully you cleared it up. Hopefully this is the end of it, man. I don't.
But now you still gonna have some people. There's actually some people who are actively encouraged. They want to see a fight, like week 12. Like they want to see a physical fist fight. And again, I'm not fighting Lincoln Ware. What I look like punching an 87-year-old dude.
Is he
There is
87?
no win in that for me.
Wait a minute.
Number one.
I thought he was
And
75.
it I won't necessarily address it again unless somebody bring it up. But you are still one of those people who, oh, Lincoln didn't do nothing wrong, because to them he can't do no wrong. But he got me on the roll now, so I'll be exposing the F out of him. Oh, I'm going to expose. He do a lot of stuff that he ain't no business doing. I'm going to be exposing him.
Oh, don't do that.
Just because I feel like
y'all heard me tell him right here live on there. Don't do that to him. Don't do that, E. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I hear you saying.
Listen,
that.
man. Listen, bro. Let me tell you why. Don't do that. And the reason why I say that, bro, is it's tragedy when you find out as a kid that there's no Santa Claus. So if you tell people about their hero or whatever, you can be breaking some hearts. It's don't do that, bro. You're much bigger than that. And I told you were much bigger than that when you even brought this up. You feel me? I was like, bro, you way bigger than me. I wouldn't have said shit. I wouldn't have said nothing about it for different reasons. But you know what I'm saying? Don't.
I hear the words that you are saying.
I know. I know. Just I know, man, but like I was devastated when I found out there was no Santa Claus. All right. So just hey, bro, do what you do. I'm just saying, I'm speaking from a friend's point of view. Like, hey, you may not be hurting the person that you're trying to hurt more than you're hurting the people that'll be listening to you. They may be hurt more than you, than the person you're trying to hurt.
Well, maybe I'll work my frustrations out by going and taking an honor flight that was meant for people who couldn't.
See, you starting already. All right,
I get to do it.
All right, bro. Do whatever you're gonna do, man. But I do not stamp it, but I understand it.
All right, man.
All right, brother. Take it easy, man. Talk to you soon. Hey, you on today or what?
Yes.
Okay, Emmanuel, 3:30. What time?
Yeah, about 3:30. Whenever you go off.
Okay, well, it's gonna be shortly here for me, man. Probably about 3:15ish or so. I got things I got to get to.
All right,
brother. Talk to you soon.
Peace.
Bye. That was Emmanuel. Once again, another interview that I didn't see coming. I don't think it was an interview. I think it was a phone call in explaining something. I didn't know that they had issues. I think I kind of knew because when him and I talked, he explained it to me. But yeah, I just wanted to get that out in the air. Let me just say I'm going to share his frustrations. All right, I'm only sharing this frustration because him and I go through the same thing in a certain kind of way. All right, some people were in here like, what does that have to do with you? It has a lot to do with me because people feel like they feel like they can say whatever they want to say to you and you can't say nothing back, or they feel like they can somewhat bully you. And let me just say something to you. I don't say anything because I don't want you knowing like you fucking with like you messing with me. I don't want you like if you get real disrespectful. Some people can get kind of disrespectful, and it's not a proper disrespect, but it's a okay, we have a difference of opinion. You feel me? We don't see eye to eye on that, and your opinion is this and this and this and that, and you might even throw a jab or two, insulting jabs or two out there, and I just let it swing. I just be like, all right, fuck it, I ain't. So the fuck what? You know what I'm saying? You're not really relevant in my life, so I don't really care. I get it, but then there's some people that might say some things that might fuck with my money, or say some things that they're trying to insult me. And I just don't say anything because I'm not going to let you know. You'll find out. You feel me? Like I'm not going to say no shit. Like I told E, I said, bro, now if somebody slip on if this individual who you got a problem with slip on a banana peel outside and hit his head, everybody going to think you had something to do with that. Everybody gonna think you had something to do with that man slipping on a banana peel. Let me go to the phone lines before I get out of here. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with? Hello? I don't know where he went. Hold on.
Mr. Wyatt.
Hey, caller, you there?
Hey, how you doing, Mr. Wyatt? This is CK.
CK, what's good with you, brother? Long time no talk to.
Hey, man, great show, man. I just heard Livingston on there. He was talking about the Lincoln rolling up on his wife.
Oh, I
I
thought it
was
was
listening
dead.
to your conversation
I thought
about
it was
that.
dead. I thought it was dead. But CK, close it out for us. What you think?
As like you say, some of us is different scenarios. In his family, it's a little different.
Okay.
But like you said, in this scenario, totally out of line. The Lincoln, he knows better than this. You cannot. This is not part of the manhood. You see what I mean? I have poured flimflammery like this myself, sir. So I know all about the deviousness of it. You know what I mean? It's revenge, it's plotting, it's wrong, but it's in the devilish plot, if you understand.
Mm. Yeah,
So,
I don't agree with the payback. I told him.
oh yeah, you're not a vengeance. Vengeance. res- So you remember, revenge is the sweetest joy next to getting sex. You do remember this.
I never heard that before in my life, and I don't believe in that.
Machiavelli Hail Mary is the first bar in the verse. That's exactly what he said.
I'm not a Machiavelli reader. I know what it is. I know that I read the intro to it. It's not something. Payback is not really a virtue of mine. It's not something that I look to. I learned a long time ago that payback is not. It's not for me to give, because
Well,
every time I've paid somebody back, I ended up paying a higher price than what I was what I was involved in. I'm just being honest with you, CK. Payback shit don't
oh
work too
yes,
well for me. It never
yes.
has.
As you wisen up, yes, but as you know, you're yes. As you get older, you're right. But remember, the Machiavelli was Tupac. He changed his name to that. I'm quoting Tupac, who changed his name to Machiavelli. So that's what he said in the song Hail Mary. Um, but you have to remember, as a man, like you said, you just, hey, how you doing? All right. You keep it moving. You keep it smooth. A lot of times we can't handle hold our poise. You have to be poised.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah, I hear you.
And women make whole ass niggas act funny.
No, I don't. Well, I guess you have a point.
They do. They do. When they get around, just think, right? You could be around four beautiful sisters, right? And then here come this dude. His stomach just start bubbling so crazy inside. He acting crazy. You like, what's going? He just can't handle the situation. You just smooth, kick back. You know what I mean? Having a convo with the ladies. But when they see it, they like, oh, they go into like shock. Like, I didn't know Wyatt was a movie star. Their minds start playing tricks on them. This is what happens when he's seen his wife. Keep your poise, Lincoln. Stay cool. Be easy. Hey, how you doing?
I ain't even
This
gonna
is how
lie, I'm
you end the
confused.
war through his wife. Hey, tell Lincoln. Tell Emmanuel I said hello, man. Boom. Tell Emmanuel Lincoln said hello. This is how you end the beef.
Okay, I
Do
see
you
what you're
agree?
saying. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I think that I think he took the approach that he felt like was the way that um he can get that agreement between the two. Or maybe you're right, CK. Maybe he said something to her with the confidence that she would go back home and say it nicely and just kind of be like, look, let's just, he old.
No, you don't say anything. You just say hello. I'm just saying, if you really want to end the beef, you be nice to his wife when you see her. Hey, all right, that's all you say.
Right. No, I
Tell
agree with
tell
that.
tell Emmanuel I said hello.
Right. I
Then
feel
he'll
you.
be like, then Emmanuel go like, damn, he treated my wife
Nah, I
with
don't think
respect.
he would
But
have
it
said
wouldn't
that
be
shit.
this situation, but the situation he did is premeditated. He wants war. So we have to
No,
stop
you
playing
know
with
what? No,
people.
I'm gonna
He
give him.
wouldn't do that
No, I'm
if
gonna
he
give
if he
him.
didn't want it.
I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt here.
Too much grace. Too much grace,
No,
sir.
no,
Too much
because let me
grace.
just say this to you. I think people know when other people have something on them. Like the last
Mm-hmm.
person you want to piss off is somebody that can expose you for things, unless I'm arrogant and I believe that, oh, nobody will believe that truth about me. You feel me? If I'm arrogant like that, and maybe somebody could be that arrogant of being so vain that, you know, if somebody came out, I mean, look, let me just say this, not because it's Emmanuel, but anybody that I know that I could know you for 20, I could know you for 5 years now, CK. But if somebody that I know that's been working with you for 20 years came and told me something, I would have an eyebrow up. I would have to listen to him and say, not the person I know for 5 years, but yet you've known him 4 times that long. You feel me? So maybe you know something about that person I don't know. But if you're a vain and you know, and you know, all about yourself person, you might have this attitude that no matter what they say about me, ain't nobody gonna believe it because everybody love me. See, it's a possibility that you could think that way, but
these are facts.
right.
These are facts because
the last
we're
thing I
living
would
through
want to
this.
do if I was in that position is be pissing somebody off to, you know, that could say some bad things about me. I wouldn't want to do that.
No, but you have to understand, we all have the de-escalation gift. He gave it to all of us. So remember, we could take it all the way to the penitentiary, or we could take it out to heaven. Remember, you have the gift of God. So if you get into it, I can get into it with you right now and end it right now. You know what I mean? But some of us want to escalate it until violence. Or like, just remember what I'm saying. Nipsey Hussle, when he was alive, he said it pays to have it's a blessing to have weak enemies. Lincoln is a weak enemy. He ain't nobody you got to worry about.
I
That's
disagree with
cool.
that. I don't believe in a weak enemy.
Oh, okay.
That's just me personally. I don't think that anybody that's an enemy could be. I guess you have to define what you mean, what your weak is, because I think that everybody could do somebody damage some kind of way. You feel me? And I just think that even if it's just through public opinion, I mean, you know, maybe one of them can't hurt each other financially, but you know,
he's proven it through this. This is the weak enemy. Look at the strategy. He's making himself look bad, sir. So this is a blessing. If he coming at your wife, that means he is weak. So it's a blessing to have a weak enemy. If a strong enemy, you wouldn't see it coming. That's why I'm blessed, because people that try to destroy me, they always let me know. They want me to know that they killing me. See, if you just want to kill somebody, just walk up behind them and blow their brains out.
well,
But they always want to rub it in. And that's the thing. You want to say something to his wife. You want to, well, that's making you look bad. So that's weak enemy philosophy.
right. No, I understand. I know that I agree with you to a certain extent. I do believe that the last person that's going to really start something or going to have some static is the one who is going to verbally announce, you know, the hold me back guy, hold me back, hold me back. You know what I'm saying? That's the last one who's gonna throw a punch. I'm always suspect of the quiet guy, because that's kind of
exactly.
like how I'm familiar with that way of moving. Is, you know, you have to be careful of the one that says the least, especially when he's hang around a pack of wolves. You feel me?
And you
got to understand
you remember
that
the
guy.
rule number 1, Wyatt. You never threaten anyone. Never threaten anyone. You hear me? Do you understand? You never say, I'm gonna slap this dude, or I'm gonna punch this dude, I'm gonna shoot this dude, I'm gonna kill this dude. You never threaten. That's a crime in itself.
Well, wait a minute. It ain't a crime where I'm from, but it is technically a crime. But where I'm from,
yes, you can report it.
Yeah, I know. I thought you meant something else. But what I mean is, where I'm from, a threat, you might as well just hit the motherfucker.
Right.
If you threaten to hit somebody, or you threaten to do something to somebody, you better do it, because they probably gonna make you do it. I mean, they gonna get you before you get them. So yeah, I hear you. That's why I don't get into all that talking back and forth of what I'm gonna do, because most people that talk that shit about what they gonna do, CK, they ain't gonna do nothing. They ain't gonna fight sleep.
Zero.
Yeah, they ain't gonna do nothing. It's the quiet one. It's the one, Donna, hear me. It's the one that grew up around the wolves who don't say nothing. That's the one that you have to be afraid of the most. The one that's doing all the barking, chances are he or she, they gonna run and go get the team. But the one that's quiet, that's the one that you have to, you know, kind of be like, oh, well, you know, You got to be a little. You got to
Because
be a little sus. You know.
because I want you to understand that the weak enemy is weak-minded. So the type of harm he want to cause you, he's so soft in the brain, he don't even know how to hurt you. That's what I'm saying. So a strong enemy gonna destroy your whole life, but a weak enemy is gonna say some silly stuff to your wife.
I'll give you a better idea, a better example. I used to say this because my mother told me. How can I say this without saying how? All right. My mother told me one time who to watch out for, who not to watch out for, how to move in certain areas and how to do certain things, right? I grew up with this concept. I would rather work 40 hours, 50 hours a week with my whole paycheck of cash in my back pocket. I walk down a dark alley and somebody robbed me for all my money. I just give my wallet up versus a man on a job with an ink pen who could fuck me up for life. I would rather be in an armed robbery, just give him what I got, because that's a one-time hit. I can recover from that versus a man with an ink pen who could damage my life for the next 10, 15, maybe even possibly 20 years of my life. So do you understand that analogy, CK?
Exactly. I understand it perfectly, man.
Your enemies are not always your strong one. It's not always the one that's convincing you that they'll beat your ass and they'll drag you. Sometimes the enemy is the one that is the weakest in visual. They look weak, but that ink pen is way more mightier than that sword. You feel me?
Right.
So you got to kind of know how to, don't misinterpret. Sometimes the weak is the strongest in a room. You got to be careful how we look at who's strong and who weak. You got to be careful because I'll give you another analogy. You love boxing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember one time being in a room with some guys that had who they needed to help their careers go on, had money for them, was ready to go off and jump off a bridge and pursue people's careers and had everything. But when the white man walked in the building, they all ran and got on his nuts. And the white man didn't give them nothing. They had who they needed. They had who they needed right there, talking to them and walking with them and told them, and they had what they needed. But they thought the other man was the stronger man because whatever reasons. Some people think that other people are better than people that look like them. And they have more confidence. They have more confidence. I know that's kind of off topic, y'all, but I'm just saying.
No, you're talking about Jake Paul. This is what we're doing. We're running over to him. Oh. Like you said, he's magnetically getting the boxers because he's white.
Well,
simply.
I think you know what? I see where you're going with that. I don't agree with it. All right. You and I are going to have to take another day. We can discuss that. We can spar over it if you want to. But I'm in that professional boxing world. Okay. He's not.
And do you like what he's doing with boxing? Yes or no?
Well, as far as there's no yes or no to it.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not, CK, because here's what you have to understand. I don't like the exhibitions that he's doing, other than the fact that he's getting these guys some very long money. He's giving them a bag, but I don't like what it's doing to the sport of boxing. However, let me just say this to you. I can't be mad at these fellas because there's been a guy who's been running boxing and he's destroyed it for the last 7 years. And these guys have been sitting at home not earning a living for what some of them have been doing as a profession for the last 5, 7, some even 10 years.
What are you talking about, Uncle Al?
Exactly.
Oh my God. Okay.
And I know I probably get a lot of grief for that, and I probably never get a chance to work with him again and all that old shit. I don't care. You've spoiled and ruined a lot of these little brothers' lives who were trying to become world champions, and they were trying to earn a living, and you fucked over them. You had 300 plus fighters, and these guys was depending. They put the work in. And the worst thing you can be in this world is a starving artist. If you're a starving artist, why would you ever starve an artist? You understand what I'm saying? Why would you ever do that? Yeah. So I don't respect people who do that, who don't even put the same kind of work in. They just have the money to watch everybody scatter and do what they want to do. Meanwhile, you're destroying a beautiful sport. You're destroying people's dreams, aspirations, the things they want to do in life. and you got him sitting by the phone for 2-3 years waiting for
You,
an
you
opportunity.
talking about Danny Garcia? I looked at him
I ain't
personally.
talking about him per se.
That happened to Danny in Philly.
He's not the only one.
He's not the only one, but just let me. Please just answer this on the way out. I'm about to hang up, man,
Okay.
but I just want to say yes. I am happy with what he's doing. I like him applying pressure. I like him applying pressure to the boxers because, like you said, they got spoiled, and this is what you need—a white boy from the podcast world to make y'all tighten up.
That's not
Whatever it do to get the sport. I mean, this gonna make the athletes straighten up because if he
No,
could do it,
you got it
y'all
all
boxers
wrong.
better do it.
You got it all wrong, CK. You
I
got
got you, brother.
you got it all wrong. That's not how it went. And these boxers have, these professional athletes have been doing what they're supposed to do. They just got played. Some of them got played. I don't know if you know it, but these guys were sitting back waiting for opportunities. You don't sign with a manager and then the manager have you sitting by the phone. A lot of people don't understand that a manager works for you. You don't work for the manager.
I was impressed how he got those young guys. They was praising them like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Every time they fought, they said his name.
Right.
I was impressed. At the end of the fight, I want to thank Uncle Al. It was impressive by how you could control minds like that. It seemed like a lot of money in my mind.
Yeah, that's not impressive. That is what's wrong with a lot of people. They get fooled up.
This is America, sir.
No. Well, some people just don't understand. But this is what happens when you listen to these fake ass dudes that be like, sign with the black man. Be the black man. Don't go with them. Be black. When you put that black shit like that in front of what you need to be doing for your friend, for your family, you get exactly what's happening. Unfortunately,
don't get mad when Uncle Al doing the same thing the white folks do. Why he can't do what they doing? You mad at him for being a businessman? He doing the same thing they doing. So now you mad at the brother because he making money how the white man make it?
Yeah.
What's going on, Wyatt?
So you're okay with slavery from black folks. If blacks own slaves, you're okay with that because the white man.
Of course, it's revenge. Vengeance is mine.
Wait a minute.
Didn't I tell you? I started off the conversation saying revenge. You don't want payback for what they did?
No,
I don't. So you just gonna let it go. You just gonna walk away for what they did, all the lives they took. Man, you wouldn't take revenge if you had the opportunity.
No, I don't believe
that's the problem.
Okay. Anything else, CK?
No, that's it, brother. I had to let you know. I'm gonna listen to you though.
All right, brother. I appreciate you, man.
All right.
You better stop paying people back. That shit gonna come back to you.
Thank
all right,
you, brother.
Talk to you. CK a handful. Sometimes he had me spinning in a circle about some things, but I catch up. I catch up. But no, he doesn't understand. He think that this white dude in boxing named Jake Paul, I think it's his name, is giving these guys that they're all going to him because of the other guys. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know exactly what his point of view is, but I know that the reason they're going over there is because now they have an opportunity. And the opportunities with the brother who had $1 billion, literally, and could have pushed a lot of careers and had television, had a lot, controlled the industry. He could have did a lot, but instead of doing a lot for a bunch of people, he did a lot for a few, but he only did that for a few people so it could bring in a lot of other people that he just didn't have any intentions of doing anything good with. He used those few, and I could say I could use two hands and just count that. This is how many people he helped change their life, got them millions of dollars. But this 10 people brought in 400 people that he didn't do shit for. And they could have took on other opportunities, but he used that. You got to sign with us, the brother shit, and we the brothers, and the brothers have to stick together. He did all of that shit, taking those young men's career and used that brother shit. That's what he did. So I don't, if you don't know the industry, then you probably can't debate this with me. But if you know what I'm talking about, then you know that he used us, not us, but our people. And for CK to say, so since he did it, y'all ain't mad when the white dude do it? Yeah, we are. The white boy had slaves. So now we shouldn't be mad at the black dude because he has slaves, because the white dude did it. See, CK, I ain't never said this to you before, brother. I wish you were on the phone to give me your reaction. But this is what I be talking about when people be like, what somebody else is doing. It don't even have shit to do with us. Because they get away with something or they've been doing this for years, that don't mean it's our turn to do it, especially if it's gonna fuck over us. All right? Yeah, I mean, if this is gonna sound stupid, but this is the only way I know how to say it. If they brought slavery back and black people were slave owners and our slave owners were us, that wouldn't make sense to me. I mean, that just doesn't make any sense what you said, CK. You the one who said, yeah, I'll be okay with sleep. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. Let me go to the phone lines for the last call of the day, unless somebody come in with something a little bit powerful. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, what's up, Wyatt?
Oh shit! I was trying to avoid this one.
Yeah, go. Yeah, he is.
I was trying to avoid this one because I haven't talked football all day.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. No, man, real talk, man. I hate to say it and bring it back up, but I'm gonna say it. I caught the tail end of it, E-Man and everything.
Okay.
I think as a man, handle that, without us being in the business. Whatever y'all got going on, some get back, whatever with Uncle, whatever y'all going on, man. It's childish to me as I look at it. I was having sympathy for E-Man for a minute, but I realized who he is. He a Leviston brother, and they dish out things, but they can't take it. But him going at his wife and all, it was, a little skeptic or whatever and all that. But man, y'all be out here on bogus, especially in the chat and all that. But you know too much about Unc, but let it go, man. As I look at it, just let it go. Let me tell you this. And speaking from experience. If I couldn't touch it, my enemies or whatever, or a rival gang, I'm gonna reach out and touch whoever, man. I'm gonna make y'all feel it. That's how part of life was, man. Somebody gotta get it, Wyatt. I don't care who it is.
See, so you saying it was okay for him to go at that man's wife?
No, it wasn't okay.
So
that wasn't a player move.
No.
But let me tell you this. On the other hand,
shit. We ain't talking about no street shit either. It's not street shit. If he would have did some street shit to it, wait a minute, hold on. Before Tracy Dillingham, happy birthday, sis. I missed it. I didn't even know you were here. I just seen you say see you later. Happy birthday, sis. I hope you got my postcard, my post, that I sent. Happy birthday, sis. I didn't even know you were here. The hell you doing here on your birthday, girl? I know. Oh, she probably in the house with this injury. But normally she would be out on a nice little dinner and stuff. All right, go ahead, twin. I'm gonna happy birthday you tomorrow.
No, he was wrong for that a little bit.
Okay, so why you got a problem with me
you were saying street stuff or whatever, but if I can't reach out to get Wyatt, I'm gonna reach out to touch somebody in his family. Somebody gotta feel me.
Okay.
Whatever, so that he was sending a message like that.
Nah, that's the whole point. That's
either make him drunk, foggy or whatever. But it was the point. I mean, he knew what he was doing when he was doing. I definitely knew what he was doing. I'm gonna get him. So who close? He could have checked it in the bag with his brother, but no, he went to where he go jump at. And he said, "Oh, I got him now. His wife here." He could have checked it in with his brother, but no, move over. I'm gonna get where he go. Somebody close to him. He loves so much or whatever, and sleep with every day and see every day. I'm gonna get whoever. I'm gonna get him. And he saw his wife. Come on, man. If he probably see each other, they probably won't even, check it like that. It might be a little scuffle, whatever, argument, but other than that, man,
let me just
whatever. I don't feel sorry for him because they dish it out.
You don't feel sorry for who? E?
Them Leviston brothers.
You shouldn't.
Yeah,
and I don't think he's in a position. I don't think he's asking for anybody's sympathy. I think you got it figured a little wrong, twin. I don't think he's asking anybody to feel sorry for him. I think what he did is.
I know he's not, but still, why am I talking about it? It is what it is. I look at it like this. If I got a problem with you, Wyatt, I don't like what you saying to me or whatever. I disagree, whatever, I'll probably call you.
Right. I'm
and
not
say,
going to
hey,
your,
why you agree with this? Oh, what you got a problem with me, Wyatt? I
Right.
did it before, like when I called her. I wasn't liking her move. And what she was saying.
But I'm
You in the
not going to
business
go
with
to your
these
twin
police
brother.
and stuff, talking about the police, and I was rolling. And I talked to her, and I'm saying, you know what? I ain't gonna have this on my chest. I'm gonna talk to her ass, and I don't care who don't like it. So I reached out to her ass and everything, because I'm not the type of person keep on going back and forth with you on social. Me, if they all that, no, I don't do that. I walk away. No, I'm not about to make this a Jerry Springer show. Walking away with your goof ass. You can argue about yourself. I don't do that, man. If I got a problem with you, man, why I'm to address the situation. I'm not gonna, broadcast it out there like that. And that's what the hell he should have did. Right, man, come on, man. Y'all work together and all that, and you want to tell the business, you think it ain't getting back to unfollow? Come on, man. Be man enough about the situation. I'm done talking about it because it's sick managed to me. Just know, man, hey, you ain't go check my wife or whatever. We go out and keep it moving.
Wait a minute, hold on. So you're trying to tell me, twin, that if somebody approached your woman about some shit y'all got going on out here in these streets or whatever, you trying to tell me
I'm gonna check my wife. Hey, what's up with dude? What are you talking about? Oh, he should never did that. Man, baby, I don't like that. And then I gotta go fight this nigga. It's certain situations, elements to the situation, man.
What I'm saying,
I'm just not gonna go out there and check that nigga like, hey, man.
Twin, I am so confused. Huh? I don't know if you saying that the man was wrong for approaching the wife or E is wrong for having something to say about it. I'm confused right now. What exactly are you saying?
My thing is this. As I look at Emmanuel's situation and where they dish out things, oh, well, because they play too damn much. I don't know to take them serious or not. But look at it like this, in twin perspective, man.
Okay.
If you checking me about my wife, I'm gonna ask my wife what you do to make him say something to you or whatever. Any situation, I'm like, okay, you hit him on what you run the cart, the back of his foot with the cart or something like that. Somehow would have, it just ain't gonna jump on dude like that. But if it's a situation, hey man, I'm like, hey, come here, let me holler at you, man. And,
Twin, can I ask you a
I'll go from there.
Twin, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, man.
Now, I know you work at Kroger, right?
Yeah.
And let's just say, for instance, I've been knowing you for a little while, like I have, but I don't know you like that. I'm just saying, if I knew you and your significant other, your girlfriend or your fiance, whatever your situation is, if I knew you worked at Kroger and I see your woman out there at Walmart somewhere, and I bump heads with her, and I know that's your woman, and I say something to her about what me and you got going on, you don't find that to be disrespectful to you?
What you mean? What you mean depends on the situation, what we got going on.
If I say, okay, say I have the podcast here, and I see your woman out at Walmart or somewhere in the mall, and I know that, I know how to get a hold of you, and I know where you work, so I could probably pull up if I had to, if just to have a conversation, of course. If you don't think it's disrespectful if I see your woman at the mall and I approach her and I say,
tell Twin to get on the podcast,
and I say to her, hey, listen, hey, how you doing? I'm, blah 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 blah. Yeah, and blah blah. Hey, do me a favor. Why don't you talk to Twin and tell him to stop tripping about such and such? And he said some shit about this and blah blah. You as a man don't see that as some funny weird shit. You don't think if I could get at you, Twin, don't you think I should
justify the situation? That's some fucking minor shit. That's some mild serious.
It's the same thing, Twin.
Man, I'll see if it's something serious. Then that's minor, man. That's minor, whatever.
I think it's all minor.
If it was in a different lane or whatever, you talking about something serious, yeah. And the women I hang with gangsters. They be like, they wouldn't even give it, they'll tell me later on, but they'll handle it themselves. I don't hang with no puss ass, fuck ass women.
That's our point.
That's our point. I hang with gangsters, man.
That's our point. If you have a problem with me, reach out to me. Don't run it through what you think might be a soft target. Run it to me.
But he knew what he was doing when he did it.
What was he doing?
That's what I'm saying. He knew what he was doing. Man, like he said, he could have checked it in with his brother, man. His brother was right there in the studio. He calls in. He could have checked it with his brother. Hey, you tell your brother keep my name out of his mouth and all that. He could have checked that in the door. Come on, man.
Okay.
But no.
But
he broadcasted, he brought it over to his show and everything and got back to
we're actually on the same, we're on the same team, and you kind of
we on the same team, yeah, but you know, I'm gonna read the room anyway, and I'm gonna get to the vet. Man, why the fuck you talk to my wife like that? I'm here now, nigga. Well, now what? I'm gonna get to the end of it, because you're not gonna be disrespectful towards my wife. That's one thing. Come to me as a man. Well, that's how I'm looking at a street point, man, in a real life situation type.
Let me give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't care if he was not disrespectful to Emmanuel's wife.
Hey, I understand
it's not
what
a matter of
wife.
the disrespect or the approach to the wife at all. It's the fact that if we have a problem as men, we have to learn how to talk to each other as men and not bring women who could totally flip a situation into something different. See, E might not even, let me just say this for the record. Twin, give me 10 seconds. This probably would have never been discussed if somebody would have called E and said, hey, man, I got an issue with what you said about such and such and blah, blah, blah. Let's squash this shit, or it's going to be something different. Whatever it's going to be, it's going to be. That's a conversation between men. I think the only reason why this even came to surface and people heard about it is because of how it got back to Emmanuel. You don't have your wife or your woman come back on some shit that some other man and said to her, and she got to bring it back to you. Men don't work like that. We don't function that way unless they had some type of relationship where they were like, they was like cool back in the day, and it was like, hey, you know what? I was talking to E, and we kind of fell out a little bit. Why don't you have him just give me a call? That's where it needed to go, even if they was like this. But that's not where it was, and nobody gonna convince me, bro.
That's what, like I said, get to my point that he knew what he was doing. It was premeditated on man. That's his wife right there. Oh, I'm gonna get him, and I know the message gonna go to him. He knew what he was doing. Well, he knew exactly. I knew what he was doing. Well, and that's when Emmanuel flipped out his baby chair. I mean, to each his own. Emmanuel, hey, he couldn't stand it, and Emmanuel know how to stick a fork in if he want to. Well, I can tell the whole business, but he probably is killing him in that thing, and he don't want to go there really. But in his mind, he want to go there. Excuse me, or he probably don't. I don't know. I'm not a mind reader like that.
I'm gonna say this for the record. So I hope that Emmanuel just kind of deadens it. I hope he doesn't do any of the things that he.
No, man, let it go. When you like I said, he said come to his job. You know what? Do he come out? No, you're gonna see him somewhere. Cincinnati too small. You go see him. You go catch up and croak somewhere, and that thing. Hey, holler as a man. That's how I approach the city because I'm gonna run into you. I don't care what day it is. We go bump heads. Right. So that's what I look at as a man.
And
hey,
that's why
come here, let me holler at you.
That's where it should have been. If I'm a man, that's where I'm.
That's what I'm saying. But see, that's where it should have been at.
And that's kind of like where I would.
And it would have nipped it in the bud. That's it. Oh, Wyatt.
Right.
Hey, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get your ass. What? It's coming too. I'm getting because you should never said nothing to my wife or whatever. That's how man you should approach. You got my number. Call me. Let me meet up somewhere. I'm not coming on where your job at. We going somewhere else because I know I'm safe. Or that was like I'm stalking your ass or something like that. But we're going to bump heads. I don't care what you say because you should never say it to my wife. So that's how I look at it. If I was Emmanuel, I ain't going to broadcast it out there. Said something to my wife. But no, man. No, I'm having that. I'm having that. It's going to come to it.
I don't think that.
Last thing before I get off here.
Okay.
Because I know you got to go.
Okay, go ahead.
It was a good game. I don't care what nobody say, man. It was a good game.
Yeah, you say that now because you won. You say that now because you won, but
no. I'm not saying that, man. I'm saying on both ends, Bears and Bengals and stuff. That was a good game, man. Both defense, offense, well, but them boys put up some numbers, man. Hey, I was on the edge of the couch, Wyatt. Yeah. I thought we was gonna lose, man. I swear to God, I thought we was gonna lose. And man, I seen them break off them both tackles and run it in. I like it's over with. That man gave too much time on the clock, Wyatt. 52 seconds. I'm like, how the hell we gonna pull this one out?
Well, a good defense to stop a team from scoring a whole touchdown in 52 seconds. A good defense.
Hey man, Wyatt, you think they should bring in Mike Zimmerman back?
I don't.
Oh, defensive coordinator, maybe Marvin Lewis as a defensive coordinator.
No.
So you fine with the defensive coordinator they got now?
No, I don't think that the defense. Listen, I've been telling people all the time. People are always talking about the players bad. The players bad. The game is a strategy game, right? It's what defense lines up against what offense. Not necessarily the player. The player is not always the difference maker. It's what position the coach puts you in. Like, there's no reason they should have been one-on-one in a coverage like that when you're trying to stop these guys from getting in field goal range. You have to cover the field, not cover the man. All right. And then make it a harder throw. One-on-one is a lot. I mean, nobody could check Jamar Chase one-on-one or T. Higgins one-on-one. They got professional players on the Bears teams too that are dope ass players. We don't have like super, stop cornerbacks where we could just leave them out on the island by themselves. And I just think that the defensive coordinator had these guys in the wrong position and y'all capitalized on it. There's no way they should have. Look, I could see them attempting a field goal, but a whole touchdown in what, 3 plays, 4 plays? No, hell no. That's bad coaching. That's the coaching had the wrong defensive scheme out there during that 52 seconds. That during that time, bro, and they went all the way to 3rd and 10.
Yeah.
Because they had the zone. They didn't go to that man-to-man coverage until it was 4th. It was like, wasn't it 4th down?
Yeah.
Why would you do that? You didn't stop them for 3 straight plays, and now it's 4th and forever. And, they were still 12. They were probably 15 yards away from field goal range. So you cover the field goal range, you cover the field. You don't cover man-to-man. Man-to-man is the dumbest shit in the world because, number one, it opens up pass interference. It stops the clock and moves the ball forward. Bruh, that's all about coaching. I can't put it on the players. The players are only going to be, when the defensive coach calls a scheme, the players go on the field where the scheme tell them to go.
But I don't think, man, dude can't coach to me. The Bengals coach, that Zach Taylor, he trash, man.
Bro,
that man literally
these
trash.
Guys are putting up 38 points a game.
You said what?
They put up 38 points.
Who you think they got back there? Somebody with experience. Somebody who took somebody to the Super Bowl and won it. Who you think they got back there? Flacco.
Flacco's not calling the plays, though.
No matter what, I bet you they blocking for him. I bet you these last 2 games they blocked for him. He put up damn near 500 points.
I'm not fighting
500 yards.
I know. I'm not fighting you on this at all.
Joe Blow couldn't do that, man. He couldn't do that if he was behind there. He couldn't put up no 40 points.
Wait, hold on.
If you go back to look at the numbers, stats, and everything, Joe wasn't doing it like that.
Twin, if Joe Burrow played yesterday, the score would if Joe Burrow would have played yesterday, the score would have still been the same score. We would have lost. Joe Burrow couldn't stop that dude who caught that touchdown on the last game play. He don't play defense, and he sure in the hell ain't gonna stop somebody from scoring a touchdown. We scored enough points. Who Dey Nation, we scored enough points where if you score 38 points in an NFL game, chances are 9.5 times out of 10, you're going to win a game when you score 38 points or more. You got to suck defense, a sucker defense. Your defense is horrible. And it's not that these guys can't play. It's just they're put in wrong positions. You only got 4 or 5 different schemes on the defense. Football is football. It's not the hardest thing in the world to do.
Yeah.
But you got to put the right scheme out there in order to stop the ball.
Hey, Wyatt, did you see the baseball game?
Didn't. I watched the preview, the preview, not preview, excuse me. What do they call it? The after. Not big on baseball these days of my life, to be honest with you, brother, because baseball is not a spectator sport for me. It's just too boring. If I'm not playing it, I'm not really interested.
Yeah, Al Heyman, he did take a lot of people down, man. And he took a lot of people down. And who taking over now? The Pakistanians, right?
Saudi
Ain't they control
Arabia.
boxing now?
Saudi,
or whatever.
yeah.
I'm not Pakistan, it's Saudi Arabia. My bad.
They pretty much got the bag. They have the fighters they all knocking on their door, and that's probably I'm not mad at them. I'm not mad at any brother who's been putting in work since he was 5 or 6 years old and he wants to be a professional anything, and he has an opportunity to do it.
Hey, Wyatt, with them Saudi Arabians taking over, right?
Mm-hmm.
So at the uplift boxing back again and make it more competitive and more watching again. Don't you think like Tank should go against somebody who, you know, they've been calling out, not just Tank, but, you know, make it more exciting now. Like, yeah, we got boxing back. Ain't no ducking this person now.
Well, I think Tank is going to get this bag over to fight the Jake Paul guy, and then I think he'll be back on the scene. And I think he'll start fighting some of those guys that, you know, I think it'll change. I think he won't have much of a choice unless he just retires or something.
Because I want to see some. I don't want to see them. Well, I want to see a fight, man.
Yeah.
Quit ducking the dogs for all these years, and so give us something to watch.
Yeah.
I hope they since they took over.
Yeah.
And then,
Twin, do me a
but that's
favor.
all I got. Is welcome back, Carter.
I appreciate it, bro. Call me tomorrow, bro. We'll talk a little bit about about the boxing if you want to. Okay.
Okay, man.
Appreciate you, man. Nothing but love. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Peace and love to everybody, man. I appreciate everybody that came in to talk to us today for that short period of time that we've been here. I guess I'll try to see you guys here tomorrow. My work schedule is ridiculous right now, but I should be here tomorrow, same place, same time, about 1 o'clock. Let's just say 1:05 or something like that. You know, I left some stuff on the table that I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about some of these businesses in the Cincinnati area that these baby boomers are retiring from. I got about 3 or 4 businesses on the line right now that people are retiring from, and they've been in business for 30, maybe 40 years. And it's a book of business already there. And I want to know why we're not taking advantage of it right in the Cincinnati area. There's another thing that I'm looking to do the first of the year. I'm looking to do some national stuff. I really want to try to expand the Wyatt Live brand. And I'm going to ask you how we can do it and see who wants to help, you know, in the journey. So peace and love. I'll see you guys same place, same time right here on Wyatt Live tomorrow, right here. I'll holler at you.
I'm very sorry, but I don't think he's going to make it.
You never blowed up a zip. You never gave a bro a big tip with a whole lot of drip. You don't know how to get rich cause you never followed the script. You followed your bitch. You never walk in the store and they see you, they closing the door cause they know you got money to blow. They never gave you that feeling before, nobody you know. You never been with a hottie or facing a body the baddest inside of the potty. You never know what it feel like to be at the top. Nigga, you never been hot. You never ran on the set to collect. You let niggas flex without paying their debts. Bitch, you was stunned when you had a check. Now look at you not drinking Milwaukee Best. You drove, look at your clothes, and you got all that white shit in your nose. You never been in control. You don't know how to get to your goal cause you never hit it before. You never been in the know. You not a soldier. Told you I would expose you. You never been in a hole. Your life on the stove. So let the machine support you.
He not gonna make it. Lil' one not gonna make it. Tell his mama and his daddy that insurance they should take it. Carry him, bury him right there by the cemetery. Y'all should bring him flowers for his birthday every January. He gone. He gone. He gone.
He gone.
Yeah. He gone. Yeah.
He gone. He gone.
Yeah.
He gone. He gone. He gone. He gone. You never been in the wall. You never been on the block. You never ran from a cop. You never bought a new car. You never been on the lot. Talking about you in a trap. Everything you say is cap. You just be running your flat. You never carry the strap. You never could do it. So why you put that in your raps? You never been in a scuffle or been in a fight. You don't even know what it's like. You never took the advice to cherish your life, but it'll be over tonight. You never been on the drug. You don't get buzzed. You never been in the club. Nigga, you never get loved. You not a thug. We never cared who you was. You never ran up a check. You not a threat. You never been in the checks. You never bought a Rolex. I'm talking baguettes, the one with invisible sex. You never been out of town. You never been down. You don't even fuck with your rounds. You're broke. Now I got you on my boat and you don't even know how to float.
He not gonna make it. Lil' one not gonna make it. Tell his mama and his daddy that insurance they should take it. Carry him, bury him right there by the cemetery. Y'all should bring him flowers for his birthday every January. He gone. He gone. He gone.
He gone.
Yeah. He gone. Yeah.
He gone.
Out of here.
He gone.
Yeah. Out of here.
He gone.
Out of here.
He gone. He gone. He gone.
You ain't got my respect, you older than me, but you still living check to check. You ain't investing your bread. went to Catholic school. You ain't really got no love for your folks, giving them turkeys but selling them dope. I don't want your dap, you ain't my bro, you ain't no hero, I'm letting you know. You ain't even really popping, dawg, you just go places to post pictures. You ain't really getting close to God, boy, you can't even quote no scriptures. You ain't never beat the odds, you ain't got a job, so it ain't coincidental. You ain't never had a man in fresh beat, you just rapping over instrumentals. You ain't D1, you ain't juvenile, your career ain't never blown up. You ain't an OG, you a DG, you a disappointing grown up.
He not gonna make it, Lil one not gonna make it. Tell his mama and his daddy that insurance they should take it. Carry him, bury him, right there by the cemetery. Y'all should bring him flowers for his birthday every January.